I was thinking last night about this case and their theory and how it didn't make any sense and how it didn't fit and how something is wrong. It occurred to me how they were going to come here and stand up here and tell you how Oj Simpson was going to disguise himself. Was going to put on a knit cap and some dark clothes, and he was going to get in his white Bronco and this recognizable person and go over and kill his wife. That's what they want you to believe. That's how silly their argument is. And I said to myself, maybe I can demonstrate this graphically. Let me show you something. This is a knit cap. I'm going to put this knit cap on. And you've been seeing me for a year. If I put this knit cap on, who am I? I'm still Johnny Cochran with a knit cap. And if you look at Oj Simpson over there, and he has a rather large head, Oj Simpson in a knit cap from 2 blocks away is still Oj Simpson. It's no disguise. It's no disguise. It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Y'all. Taking you on another one.
Yes, sir.
Glaciers. Make it cream like that, nigga.
Yo, first of all, son, beat the arson. Many brothers I be sparking and busting, man. Like inside the door, call me Don't Snap. Just a brother for the rapture. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, RZA bake the track and it's militant. Then I react like a convict and start killing shit. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances. Dealing in my cipher, I revolve around sciences. The ninth chamber, they get trapped inside my hallway. You try to flee, once you got smoke, I put the doorway. No question, I send your ass back right to the essence. Your whole frame is smothered in dirt. Now how you resting? Well, I be trapped by sounds, locked behind loops. Throwing niggas off airplanes cause cash rules. Everything around me. As you can see, swallow this murder with first they guard degree. Then analyze my soundtrack with satisfaction. You adapt like the flashback chain.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. You already know what time it is. It's your boy Chill Murray. Live from the Spot Podcast. Welcome one, welcome all. Thank you all for tuning in as always. Once again, I'm your host with the most chill, motherfucking Murray. And this is the Live from the Spot Podcast. Episode 48. Thank you for tuning in or not tuning in. You know how we do and how we ride. If the mic is low, please tell me. Because we had microphone issues before this shit started. And I was trying to get the shit correctly. But we should be okay. Hopefully we're okay. Hopefully we're okay. We're gonna do a couple of rest in peace. It's crazy. Death comes in threes. And before we get started on the celebrations of life, I just wanted to once again give you a disclaimer. Apologies for the delay on the Iceberg Slim 2 and the, Beyonce and Jay-Z arrangement. Like I said, the powers that be, they tried to get me, and they tried to get off that other one. They tried to get off Iceberg Slim 2, so I had to revamp things and put them where they should be. I don't know why it feels like this microphone is just not recording anything, but it says it is. It says it is. I hope everybody can hear me out there once again. If not, I apologize. Like I said, it feels like the powers that be are trying to go against me with trying to deliver y'all this information. So, anyway, I figure instead of us going into crazy deep dives again, which we will still be doing, of course, because that's just how we are. I figure we have a little bit of fun tonight, as well as we do some celebration of life. So the first celebration of life, of course, I want to start out with was rest in peace to Oj Simpson. Oj Simpson passed at the age of 76 earlier. So this comes from CNN. Oj Simpson dead at 76. So harsh. What we covered here. Oj Simpson has died of cancer at age 76. His family announced Thursday that the former NFL star and broadcaster's athletic achievements and fame were eclipsed by his 1995 trial in the brutal killings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. Simpson assembled a dream team defense for the trial. The proceedings captivated the country with tens of millions of viewers tuning in at home, at work. The former running back was a household name at the time, having appeared in TV shows, movies, and national campaigns after emerging as a star in college and professional football. In 1997, the trial jury unanimously deemed Simpson liable for the deaths and ordered him to pay $33.5 million in damages. He later served about 9 years in prison for an unrelated case involving a memorabilia robbery in Las Vegas. He was released in 2017. Wow. So, kind of crazy how they said that, though. Unanimously deemed Simpson liable for the deaths. No, they didn't. He actually got acquitted. It's just crazy how even when you look up O.J. Simpson passing, people don't want to really talk about the cancer and whatnot. They want to just talk about the, they want to talk about the wrongdoings. That's all they want to talk about. So, since that's on everyone's mind, I figured, why don't we take a trip down memory lane? We're going to take a trip down memory lane real quick, and there we go.
Was there a model or style of glove that you shipped to Bloomingdale's exclusively?
Yes.
Ms. Bemidge, who are you employed by?
Bloomingdale's.
Let me show you the glove that has been marked. Item number 9, the Rockingham glove. And this glove is exclusive to Bloomingdale's?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at that glove, can you tell us the name or the style?
The right hand of style 70263.
And what style number was that?
70263.
Which glove?
Eris Leather Light Glove.
During 1990, how many Eris isotoner leather light gloves, brown in color, size extra large, did Bloomingdale's purchase?
Approximately 300.
Have you ever seen it sold anywhere in the world other than in Bloomingdale's?
No, I have not.
Is that a Bloomingdale's credit card sales receipt?
Yes.
So the gloves I showed you in court today then fit the descriptions given on this sales receipt?
Yes.
And is there a signature on the credit card receipt?
Yes.
Can you read that signature to us?
Nicole Brown.
Your Honor, at this time, the people would ask that Mr. Simpson step forward and try on the glove recovered at Bundy as well as the glove recovered at Rockingham.
Sound like the glove was bought by Nicole.
And I think so the jury can see. I'll ask Mr. Simpson to stand.
Now, see,
That's
this
people
is what
77.
was interesting to me about this, is the fact that he was trying on the glove with gloves already on. Did anyone notice that back then? That he was trying on gloves with gloves already on? Of course they weren't going to
glove on his hand.
How were they supposed to fit if he was trying gloves on with gloves already on?
Sustained. This is People's 164A. Is that the right-hand glove? All right. All right. Thank you, counsel.
So clearly, like I said, even back then, I was saying to myself, so nobody noticed that he was trying on gloves with gloves already on and shit? Like, y'all wasn't gonna peep that? But, hey, like I said, and he was acquitted of charges, so he didn't have to go to jail for the murder. I mean, he had Johnny Cochran, and Johnny did his job. Johnny did his motherfucking job. But he wouldn't not play off of it, unfortunately, and he would go on to pull one of the worst jokes of the '90s.
I've never personally shaken hands with a murderer. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Very nice meeting you. Huh?
Doesn't that hurt your feelings?
No. And you got me riled up. You got me started.
After we finished filming, OJ said to me that he had a surprise for me, and I genuinely was surprised.
Just did you do it?
No, I didn't.
I think it was his idea of a joke.
Nope.
And this is it.
Did not do it. No, I didn't. Nope, did not do it.
Horrible joke. Absolutely horrible joke to pull right after you get off the charges. Unbelievable. But I wanted to also look at some of the trial shenanigans as well, because there were some pretty funny moments during the trial, and we might as well just share that with the world as well, because it wasn't just an intense trial.
You've lived in this particular house for 51 years?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
that. Are you tuning me out? Are you, okay, are you... Only if you do it for both sides, Your Honor. Now, are you... What's depicted here is not what you could see at all, is that right?
That is correct.
Gee, okay, so you could see the north side of that building. Why'd you say G?
G.
G, okay, strike G.
Gosh.
Okay, thank
Stop
you.
it.
Okay, oh, yes, Your Honor.
You have occasion to review a draft of the manuscript concerning your conversations with Miss Weller.
Yeah, I did.
How many times?
Victorinox.
And the incidents that you're relating to now in April of 1992 took place during the time that the divorce was pending, which was filed in about February. Is that correct?
I believe the divorce was final at that time.
In 92?
Am I mistaken?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Shapiro going to take the stand?
Yes. I mean, it's a court record.
I said yes.
Do you know that there may be some people who prefer not to park nice cars under trees that have a propensity to shed?
No, those are jacaranda trees.
Well, we're getting a great lesson in trees here today.
The jacaranda trees are actually in front of my house.
Well, if somebody didn't know the difference between those trees, and somebody took great care in their car, do you think they might have a little bit of anxiety?
Needless to say, this was a dumb blonde moment that was going on up there.
About parking there? Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Ms. Bell, thank you very much for coming in. Please
Your
don't
Honor.
discuss your testimony with anybody
No, I
else
won't.
except to the lawyers until the end of the case. All right,
Yes, sir.
thank you very much, ma'am.
Good day.
The envelope indicated only open in front of a lawyer, right?
That's right.
All right, and you opened it.
I did it in front of a lawyer.
You found a lawyer?
Yes, I did.
Is there a lawyer in this courtroom?
Yes, he is.
And is that him there?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Indicating for the record, Mr.
All
Darden.
right, so he was present when you opened it?
Yes.
I didn't do that.
the Los Angeles Police Department manual. Is that correct?
Yes.
And do you have a copy of that still?
No, you took mine.
All right, I'm going to bring it back to you. Okay. Can I ask you?
No, you're testifying that's berry residue. We don't know that.
All right, well, let me phrase it another way, Your Honor. Perhaps berry residue was a bad choice of words. What's that on those steps that looks like those berries coming from the trees? Well, is that... Do you remember? I'm going to strike that question, too.
What does it look like to you?
Yeah, okay.
I'm not a horticulturist. I have no idea.
No, I know. You will not be upset if I don't ask you any more questions?
No, sir.
Johnny good.
Okay, well, thank you. I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Clark?
Can you tell us the location we're looking at in this photograph, Your Honor? Your Honor. Detective. Oh, the court's been there, maybe.
I've been there, I could tell you.
You can tell us.
During the break, I introduced you to Chris Darden, and Chris says, I'm your husband's good friend, and I told my wife, I certainly hope that you don't love me like he does, because I think I might be in trouble. And we don't take it personally, because Mr. Darden says he loves me. So since he loves me, and I do. I'm not going to take it personally.
Both sides have made mistakes and errors. I see Mr. Darden smiling, but
Mr. Cochran.
That is the rankest form of speculation. If they'd done their job in investigating this case, they would have perhaps determined whether or not Mr. Goldman had taken time to take a shower or whatever. They can't speculate and tell whether that happened.
They have the still photo. Why not just use it?
Because it's not as clear as the video. I'd like to be able to try my case if I could.
Me too.
If I can tell.
My own. Just my own.
Sidebar without.
Like I said, so it wasn't all just intenseness throughout the entire trial. It was more so this. Everybody was just trying to get justice, and at the same time, everybody wasn't afraid to have a good time as well in the courtroom. As most trials, I would think, there's not always just intense, quiet moments of seriousness. And this was one of those, like I said, that was watched around the world for days and days and days. So another thing I wanted us to look at real quick, like I said, rest in peace to Oj Simpson, was the dispositions. And boy, the depositions, excuse me. The depositions.
When was the last time you gave away clothes before Nicole's death?
January of '94.
And these were clothes from a New York place?
Yeah.
And who did you give them to?
Some to a guy named Furman, believe it or not. And then the other guys in the building. You know, you put them in big bags and you take them downstairs and, you know, I don't know if they go to Goodwill or the doorman and go through them or what.
What was Furman's first name?
I only knew him as Furman.
You're not saying you gave away a pair of Harris-like gloves to a Mr. Furman, are you?
Don't answer that. That's a great question, though. That is remarkable. That was a great question.
I couldn't.
He couldn't resist using that.
I understand.
Who is Mr. Furman?
He's a doorman, or I'm sorry, concierge.
So?
No.
Never?
Never.
Well, when you were in jail, did she come to visit you?
Yes.
Where?
Attorney room.
Okay. Well, you understood that's what I meant, didn't you?
Well, don't answer that. You
Well,
said jail cell.
Well, you understand what I mean.
Well, don't answer that.
Well, I want to make sure he's not withholding important information on some hyper-technical interpretation of my questions.
You wouldn't just answer the question.
I'm sure he wouldn't want to mislead anyone. Anyway.
Don't get snotty.
Well, you know, I think it's an inappropriate response, but we'll go
tough.
back.
I don't really care what you think.
I know you don't, and I'm not trying to please you, Mr. Baker. I'm trying to do my job.
The question was jail cell.
So one Baker is enough, okay? I don't need two.
Your point is well taken.
I don't need two.
Let me just wrap this up here on this point.
Anything that relates to Skip. Okay. Any conversation you had with Skip. All right.
I'm going to ask him about such a conversation. You're not going to let him answer that question, right?
True.
Okay.
You're going to ask him about...
I'll ask him about another Skip Taft conversation. As he mentioned it in a public statement. finishing this off, though, you didn't. Did you authorize Skip Taft to sign such a contract?
Well, when you say such a contract, or do you mean that included?
Yes, I mean that.
That included?
Included a provision where you would get money for pictures of you at Nicole's grave.
Well, don't answer that. That's irrelevant to any issue in this case, in any event. But he's already answered.
Goes to consciousness of guilt. Anyway, you want
That's
to answer
a
the question?
No, he's not going to answer the question. That is a quantum leap, I'll tell you. Petrocelli on Evidence
Did you
is a
sell
short
any
book.
pictures of you at the gravesite?
No.
How many times have you been there?
Don't answer that.
Well,
It's
you
irrelevant to any issue.
You discussed this on your video.
So what? Does that make it relevant?
Well, he thought it was important enough to put on his video.
Don't
He's made
answer
a
it.
statement out there. The video was done with the cooperation of attorneys of record, in this case, on your side. I think I'm entitled to ask about it.
No, we disagree. Don't answer it.
The location of the blood?
It was on my hand.
Okay. Did you get a little squeamish when you saw it?
No, my mind was on other things that was more pressing.
Okay. That was Nicole, the loss of your ex-wife?
He's gone over that 15 times.
Well, I don't know whether it's his travel arrangements or his ex-wife. What was on your mind that was more pressing?
You're really being an asshole right now. My wife, the murder of my wife. Well, when we left my office, we were waiting for my kids, and we drove by Nicole's.
Okay, and then you went to the airport?
Well, then we drove, and then during the course of driving around, we did stop at the airport, yes.
And then did you go back to Kardashians?
Yes.
Okay, did you spend the rest of the day there?
Yes.
Okay, did you go anywhere else that day?
No.
Okay, you slept there that evening?
Yes.
Were you here the first 5 days?
Is that a question, statement?
I think you're being an asshole.
That's two of you.
You bet.
Now, going to the 15th, you saw Dr. Huizenga for an examination.
Free time in your hands. That may be truer than you know.
My mind is wandering already.
Stuart Blaznik, the guy running against Garcetti. I think that's who that is.
Who's Stuart Blaznik?
Yeah.
Who is it? I'm sorry, I didn't.
The guy running against Garcetti, isn't it?
Probably. That'd probably be the first call you made.
That was a cold one.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm a week ahead. Let me go back a week. I'm a week ahead. I'm a week ahead of the game right now. Tell me what you're asking.
You know what? Would it help your recollection, Mr. Simpson, to look at your calendar a little bit?
Kathy's calendar, yeah.
Kathy's calendar.
This is Exhibit 8A.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just take a minute.
No.
Not that we haven't been through this.
No.
That's pretty funny. He's calling.
Absolutely lost it. I mean, there's.
I'll give you a copy.
There's absolutely no.
No, but he was. Never mind.
You definitely get an assist. You got your picture, he says.
Anyway. Off the record for a second, when you said you're a week ahead,
Yeah,
you're still...
Wait, let's break. When you got to the recital on June 12th, did you already have a ticket in hand for that?
No.
Okay, how did you get your ticket to get into the recital?
As I said before, with Mr. Petrocelli. Celli.
Ooh, the meltdown look from Daniel.
My son grabbed me, brought me over to Nicole, and I asked Nicole for the ticket.
Okay. Did you speak to Nicole at all during the recital?
Other than asking for the ticket, no.
Okay. Do you recall there being a break during the recital?
Possibly.
Okay. You didn't speak to Nicole at that time, did you?
No.
And you had indicated earlier to Mr. Petrocelli that when
Petrocelli. Don't take the easy ones. He won't be whispering in your ear anymore.
Trying to bring a little levity to the table here. When you,
In 70, I would say.
Between 40 and 70.
I hope so.
And the other ball, not that one that you tried to hit over the tree, where'd you hit that one? When you were taking a full swing?
I don't know. I thought that's what you were just talking about.
Yeah,
He said he hit one ball,
one or two, I
high,
don't recall.
40 to 70 yards.
Well,
right?
both of them about the same, but as I said, one of them may have gotten through and one of them may not have. I don't recall.
Gotten through where?
One of my big trees that are on my property.
I see. If it
I
did
mean-
not get through the big tree, would it have landed somewhere
Well,
in your
no,
property?
It could have gone through, but it didn't clear the big tree. I don't really, I do this all the time, so it's hard to recall at that moment that was the exact one, but I do know I hit something over to Mrs. Keber. It never occurs because it's my practice to always do that.
Over to Mrs. what?
Nebeker's yard. That's
How do you
the-
spell that name?
I don't know.
Could you say it a little more slowly?
Nebeker.
Has Mrs. Nebeker ever talked to you about your hitting golf balls there?
No.
Have you ever spoken to her about the fact that you've done that?
Well, she's seen me actually in her yard hitting balls many, many times.
And she's never said anything to you about it?
She likes to talk to me, but she's no longer living, but she would sit in her front door.
When did she die?
I think early '94.
And who was living at that property when you hit the golf balls in that direction?
I have no idea.
Was the house vacant?
I don't know.
Did you ever hit her with a golf ball?
You don't have to answer that. You couldn't relate. Is that the reason that she...
No, that's not the reason. She was in her. She was in her.
That was where he was going with it, but I didn't even have the nerve to ask that.
So, I mean, I grab a club. Some of my security, I grab a club. Even some of my lawyers have grabbed a club. So, you know.
You're saying since you were...
Even some of my lawyers have taken some clubs.
Now, we don't need to put this on the record.
Let the record reflect that the witness looked towards the general direction of Mr. Baker. Have you hit any golf balls at night? View, looking at Exhibit 1, correct?
Appears to be me, yes.
Okay. And the jacket you're wearing, could you describe it?
No.
Do you remember owning that jacket?
No.
Remember wearing that jacket?
No.
And what about the shirt?
Looks like a white shirt.
Looking at the close-up of the shoes, do you believe that those were shoes that you owned at that time?
No.
Those ugly-ass shoes I would never own.
He made a point to say that shit. Them ugly ass shoes I would never own. Even back then, them ugly ass shoes mattered. Once again, rest in peace to Oj Simpson. Like I said, I felt it was important that we at least went back down memory lane just a little bit. While everybody else was, shaming in the memes. I'll say that to be respectful. But moving right along, like I said, death comes in threes, unfortunately. And I kind of had a feeling it was after. So, Oj Simpson died today. Yesterday, we had the passing of DJ Mr. C. And if you don't know DJ Mr. C is a legendary DJ from Hot 97 or in the early 90s period. Okay? I'm going to read this here from CNN. Mr. C, a beloved and influential figure in hip-hop who served as a DJ for rapper Big Daddy Kane and is credited with helping to discover the notorious B.I.G., has died. According to his former employer, New York's Hot 97 hip-hop radio station, he was 57. As a family at Hot 97 and WBLS, we're deeply saddened by the passing of our beloved Mr. C, reads the statement posted on Hot 97's site. He wasn't just a DJ. He was a pillar of our stations, bringing joy to countless listeners with his legendary Throwback at Noon and Friday Night Live sets. Yes, the Throwback at Noon set is terribly going to be missed. That's another thing. Like, C was still doing his thing. Mr. C's influence stretched far beyond the airwaves, shaping the very fabric of NYC's DJ culture. The statement goes on to read, "Our hearts are heavy as we send our love and condolences to his family and the fans whose lives he touched through his music. Rest easy, Mr. C. Your legacy will live forever." No cause of death was shared. This was another thing that was ironic to me, considering everything that's going on with Diddy. I just cannot help that, considering what he did with B.i.g. I'm just sorry. Born Calvin LeBron, he hailed from Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York, and it was there he would make the connections that would factor heavily into his life and career. He became the official DJ for his high school friend, famed rapper Big Daddy Kane, working on his 1988 debut album, Long Live the Kane. After rising on the hip-hop music scene in New York City, LeBron's childhood friend Kevin DJ 50 Grand Griffin helped rapper Christopher Wallace record his demo, which launched him into infamy as the notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls. The first time I met him was when DJ 50 Grand, rest in peace, brought Big to my house. The plan there was going to redo the basement demo and that he and 50 Grand had put together. LeBron told Rock the Bells last year. LeBron told Rock the Bells last year. Big was very shy. He would always talk with his head down and say, "Yo, man, don't be promising me nothing, man. If you say you're wrong, if you say you're going to do something, do it." And I'm like, "Nah, we're going to redo the demo." He not only received credit with helping to get Wallace the attention that made him a star, but also served as an associate producer on the rapper's debut 1944 album, Ready to Die. LeBron went on to have a popular career as a DJ and radio personality for Hot 97, so much so that Jay-Z checked him and Funkmaster Flex on the Hot 97. I remember when they DO'd it. Yeah, this was a cool one too. So I wish we could play it. We're gonna play it in I guess we're gonna have to mute it, unfortunately, because it is DOA. But I do remember when they both were together, Funk Flex and Mr. C. They debuted the Death of Auto-Tune with Jay-Z. That was a cool moment. Of course, it doesn't feel so much nowadays, unfortunately. Man, oh man. Rest in peace to DJ C, man. Rest in peace to DJ C. So, real quick, want to let Hot 97 pay their tributes. As, you know, I feel that the best people to actually do that would be Ebro, Laura Styles. I wanted to hear from Funk Flex. But for some reason, I guess I could not find any type of song. So like I said, we're going to hear from...
If you want to say something negative, you send it right to me at Rosenberg Radio. You throw me every hate bullet you want to put out there, and I will look forward to it. Mr. C, we celebrate you today.
Finish him, Mr. C, Funk Flex. You ready to make this movie? Only station I can do it, Hot 97. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace to Mr. C. If you haven't heard, Mr. C passed away. Good friend of mine, good friend of ours, good friend to a lot of people in the DJ radio community. Yeah, so if you're wondering why we sound like this, it's because that's what happened. You know, a lot of people, you may only know Mr. C from mixing on the radio or whatever, controversies that you heard about in the past. But you claim to be hip-hop, and you claim that you love this hip-hop thing, but you don't really know what somebody like Mr. C contributed to helping artists and a DJ community. So you get this button.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Because you ain't really as hip-hop as you think you are. If your priority is the coverage of the negativity that, Mr. C got himself into. But, that's why he was so protected, I know, by me and many others, is because we knew what he meant to this hip-hop thing that we love, and we know how much he cared about hip-hop. And I think that's something that I hope we never lose, man. And I hope that individuals who have platforms and spaces in hip-hop really care about hip-hop, man, and really care about taking care of the music. There's many aspects of hip-hop, even in this J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick debate where we're talking about battle rapping, and some people who don't give a damn, they don't care about that aspect of it. They don't want it. They want the great music that comes along with it. They want the club records. They want the good times. They want the great songs. And that's fine. But, Mr. C cared about the totality of the game, all the way down to the craft of DJing and party rocking. Some people don't like DJing and party rocking. They go to D and they're like, yo, why you stopping the music? And why you talking so much? And why you doing this? Why ain't what they into? But if you come from a certain time, you know what that does to an event. The DJ engaging with the crowd and together engaging with the records in a certain way and through a routine of, crowd participation and DJ interaction. It's a good time, man, if you allow yourself to be overcome by the vibes. And Mr. C was one of the best, and that's why you'll see so many people celebrate Mr. C today. From people who he competed against in clubs or competed against him in his time slot on the radio, or was alongside him in the competition on the same team. And that's what I hope is remembered most about Mr. C on this day.
I saw yesterday the thing that made me smile yesterday. I was talking to Shawnee offline. Is that when I looked around yesterday and I saw the tributes pouring in, it was all about C's contributions to hip-hop. And just so many people so affected. So many DJs so affected. He was... there's the obvious stuff, right? Like maybe not obvious if you're younger. He was Big Daddy Kane's DJ. Earlier, Cass played, I'm sure we'll play it again, played Mr. C's Master Plan off of Big Daddy Kane's Long Live the Kane album. He, of course, many know, discovered Notorious B.I.G. Was a really big part of the process of getting Biggie's tapes where it needed to get to eventually becoming who he became. And he stayed along the ride in that process for quite a while. You know what I mean? And really was a guiding voice for Biggie. He had close relationships and did sick things with so many other legends. He was a big dog pit bull. It was basically Flex and then C when you look at the top of the big dog pit bulls who were the DJs who were running this town when hip hop was at its most crazy in New York City. Obviously we talk about he was the guy, and one of the real sad things about this whole thing is he was the tribute guy. He was the guy who made sure that nobody else's name was forgotten, whether it was Biggie or Big L or Tupac or whoever it was. And by the way, the internet is your friend. Mr. C posted his SoundCloud has hundreds, if not thousands, of mixes. And if you look around otherwise, you'll find his mixtapes with Redman, his Best of Biggie, they're everywhere. So he did so many incredible tapes like that. He contributed in so many different ways. And I got to give a couple of shout outs. Big shout out to LL Cool J, who brought C on to Rock the Bells Radio. And just so everyone understands the history, C left here. C was welcome to stay at Hot 97 when he had come back. And he felt that his time had sort of come. You know, he sort of felt like this version. And by the way, C, I'm starting to understand how you feel. You know, that this sort of version of the music and radio was passing him by. And LL Cool J and them reached out, Jay Hudson, these guys reached out and gave C a platform at Rock the Bells Radio. And then eventually, shout out to our brother Skip Dillard, who gave him the opportunity to come back to 94.7 The Block. And the thing that I was most struck by with Mr. C over the last several years, and this is the congratulations to anybody who ever had negative things to say about Mr. C. And believe me, we all remember, everybody remembers who you are. If y'all thought in any way you could hold back Mr. C or negatively impact his energy, Laura, when I tell you that man, once everything went down the second time and it was a huge story and his enemies kind of came to light and showed their faces and the snakes sort of all showed their faces. Shawnee, I know you and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
C found a freedom. C found a light in his truth.
Yeah.
We used to have a joke about C. Me and Syfe make this joke all the time, and y'all all remember. You saw Mr. C on a Monday, bro. It was like walking doom and gloom. His mood used to be so bad on a Monday morning, bro. Syfe and I we would hide. We'd be like, oh, God, because, we're the younger. We'd be like, oh, God, here comes Monday, C. We'd be finishing up our morning show. C would come in to do Big Dennis's show. He'd walk in at 9:15, whatever it was, 9:30. We'd be like, oh, God, here comes C. And he'd have this look of misery. By the time you'd get to Friday, oh, we loved Friday C. Friday C was rocking. He had his party plans for the weekend. He was getting his mix ready to do Friday Night Live with Shawnee and Jay Medina. Yeah. He was in his zone. But Shawnee, as the years went on, and as he lived in his light, I only saw Friday C.
All the time.
He was smiling all the time.
Yeah, eating healthy, lost weight, a smile on his face all the time, smiling for pictures. Like, this wasn't the Mr. C Brooklyn bandit that we knew at one time. He was a happy C.
He was happy C. Go ahead, Laura. Sorry.
I just saw him in the summertime, and he DJ'd a block party in Brooklyn, and I had taken Ken to her first block party. And when I tell you the way he was rocking, and he was so happy on that stage at that block party, he was in his element. And he DJ'd with Camilo, and I just saw Camilo on stage also just like filming him and Camilo was so happy because, at the end of the day, not only was that our, somebody that we worked with and somebody, a legend that we all looked up to, but C's our friend. You know what I mean? And to see him that happy excited us because, he had his, like you said, he had his little grumpy moments, but we all felt joy when we saw him happy. And these last couple of years, he looked good. He was in a good space. And I just keep thinking about that, like I'm happy that he felt happiness. At least I hope. And that's the energy we all got, you know what I mean? The last couple times we saw him.
C is such a big loss, like for all the DJs. I even speaking for like the DJs of my generation, that we came a generation after C. C was the biggest mentor across the board. I'm talking about myself, Bobby Trends, Big Ben, DJ Self, and the list goes on and on. DJ Magic. These are all DJs that Mr. C, bro, I can't even hold it together, man.
Ugh, I know.
Yo, C's the type of guy, bro, my first time on the radio, bro, was like a 4 a.m. set, right? On a Sunday, garbage time. I walk into the building at 3 a.m. Who's sitting there, bro? Mr. C. He's like, I'm like, yo, why you here? He's like, yo, I just want to make sure you guys are comfortable and you guys, I'm here to help you guys for whatever you need. And this was C way he was the biggest at his biggest, bro. And he helping me like nobody. That's the type of guy he was, man. It's a huge loss for hip hop, bro. I can't even.
Thank you, Kaz.
I know.
Syfe describes C as the first hip hop celebrity he ever met. He was a celebrity. He was before he was our colleague, guys. This is a legend who we all were just in awe to be in his presence.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he was the one who put his arm around us the most. And, obviously... go ahead. Sorry,
Rosenberg. It's he's the type of guy, man, if you were any DJ worth your worth in this town, you know that you could call C for whatever. You could ask him whatever question, He's always going to pick up the phone. If you don't pick up, he's going to call you right back. And he was just a wealth of knowledge, man. Like, yo, bro, Mr. C is such a big loss. I hope you guys understand how much of a big loss this is for hip hop. You know?
And as a human being, because I used to be in the studio with Big Dennis and sending so much love to Big Dennis and him and see what they were like brothers, right? Because they would argue. They would argue. And I would be in the middle of it like, oh my God. And then no matter how angry he was at the end of the day, he would buy us lunch. You know what I mean? And that was just his way of showing you like he still loved you and he still cared. You know, he had his own ways of showing things. And as a human, as a human being, and I'll tell you this, we're talking about, like industry stuff, but I felt so much peace and so much joy to see how many people would say things. Me and my mom bonded over his throwback at noon. Me and my parents, we have the best memories of the throwback at noon. And it was such an important moment. And I'm so blessed that I was able to sit in the studio with him as he crafted these masterpieces every day. But it's such an important part of everybody's lives. Like, he literally curated soundtrack for our lives. Like, there is no other person who found joy and how much passion he put into his mixes. We all stopped, no matter where we're at. We all stopped to listen.
Well, if Mr. C was here, just like I did when he was here, I would say to him, sir, why do you have trucks driving around Brooklyn with What's Your Fantasy on the back? What type of time is that? You get this button, bro. What is going on with the Tropical Island Punch finisher, fam? How is that happening?
Oh, my God.
What was that, Tropical Fantasy?
Yeah, it's Tropical Fantasy.
And it said, What's Your Fantasy at the top?
Yeah, it said,
we used to roast Mr. C all day.
That truck is still running around the city, bro. It's still moving around. You might catch it on a random day. Yeah, it's out there.
Listen, we had jokes, man. We had jokes, but we stood by our brother's side. We went to war.
Always.
We stood on the front lines. And
I want to say this too, because Ebro's not going to say it. The morning that many of you remember, one of the most iconic in the history of the station, in my opinion, and certainly in Ebro's time back on the air, was when C had gotten in trouble publicly. Everyone had known, and Ebro had him come up, and we had that sit down. And Ebro, you stood next to him, and had that conversation in a way that was historic. We never seen that in hip hop. We never seen someone dealing with an issue involving their sexual identity, all these different questions people had about transgender people and homosexuality, all these questions, and you gave him space and kindness and empathy, and you stood there next to him in a time when people were coming for him, bro. And I know what that meant to him. Everybody knows that. It was a big, important moment. And I know how much he appreciated that and how much he appreciated this whole family who stood with him. And when you guys think about the glory days of Hot 97, which all of us were blessed to be a part of, just know C was the nucleus. He was the connection to everybody, whether you were a heavy hitter, a big dog pit bull, morning show, afternoon drive, program director. He was the nucleus of the radio station. So you're going to see a lot of people hurting today because of how much he meant to all of us.
Our friend Carly Hustle described him as a giant because that's what he was. And that's what he is, a giant that we all loved.
Well, we thank you, Mr. C. We thank all the communities out there tuned in.
Called DOA. It's the reason why we're making this movie. You want to know what
this
DOA
is the
stands
premiere
for?
of DOA, so we can't
Death of
necessarily
Auto-Tune.
play the actual audio of that. Unfortunately, as you guys saw what happened when I tried to play 10 milliseconds of a B.l.a.c record, we can't play DOA, unfortunately. So we will move forward a little bit and I want you to hear the gentleman in the background here, his story on that day. Once again, that's Funk Master Flex also. So that's Mr. C over there in the red shirt, and that's Funk Master Flex over there across from him. That was a legendary day when DOA, they got the premiere of DOA sent to them. I wish I could play the audio. I really wish I could play
John, so you was there, legendary night, right?
I was there many nights in the studio with C and Flex premiering a bunch of records like that, DOA and Otis. And, C is a very special friend to everyone. But I knew C, like Cass knew C, like you guys knew C, but he was that battery in Flex's back. When we buy battery, you put that battery in someone's back and you get a different Flex on the radio. And as C in that video, you can find on I-97 YouTube, C kind of like intros the record, and C just sets the tone, man. He sets the tone at Summer Jam. He's the best DJ at Summer Jam. I don't care anyone feels any type of way, but he is, because Cass know it, because he's a crafty veteran. He's the young Mariano. Yo, man, C was the most mad scientist DJ I ever knew. Like, if you never learned anything about DJing and hip hop, C's that guy. He was a very big sports guy.
Huge.
We have arguments, and
he loved to talk trash too. If you like Juanito, he was coming for you when your team's lost.
Oh man, listen. So last year when we had Aaron Rodgers, and after the fourth play, Aaron Rodgers going down, I texted. I was like, "Yo, he's still a Jets fan now."
Yo, you're such a bad guy. That is such a DJ Juanito move to hit Mr. C when Aaron Rodgers got injured. You're such a bad guy.
Yo, and C, remember, and C also was a big Madden guy. C would take one vacation a year, and it would be the day that Madden came out. Because then he would sit at home and play Madden for the whole week just to be able to come back, then set up a TV in the studio and say, okay, who wants to play me? Who wants to? Yo.
No, he was a hardcore Jets fan.
No, the L part is going to be when the Jets win the Super Bowl this year.
LLJ, Cool J.
That's going to be the L part. That's going to be the L part. See, going to get to celebrate. We're going to celebrate for you, see? You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. Watch. DJ Mike Scott is calling in from Charlotte. He wanted to talk about Mr.
Real quick, so I wanted to also share the tribute, part of the tribute, as part of the tribute, I should say, for Mr. C was his claim to fame, which was the Notorious B.I.G. freestyle. Because he was the only one exclusively that had it and had broke the Notorious B.I.G. So let's listen to that real quick. I give zero fucks about the copyright. Just gonna keep it funky.
Yeah. You're now entering the mode of the Notorious Biggie Smalls, Junior Mafia Clique, representing. This one's going out to Brooklyn. Y'all know what time it is. It's going out to all the gangsters, all the pimps and players, hoes and bitches. Y'all know what time it is. So this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to grab y'all Dutch Masters and y'all White House and y'all Phillies. Get you a fat sack, a pint of Hennessy, and lay back. Gonna do this with my man Mr. C, representing all day, every day. That's right. And all you other tape niggas and bootleggers, stay in the house, cause Brooklyn got this shit locked down. So anytime you're ready, Mr. C, we gonna get hardcore in these homies. Like I said before, Junior Mafia Clique, hardcore, representing Biggie Smalls in the house, check it, Biggie Smalls is the wickedest. Niggas say I'm pussy, I dare you to stick your dick in this. If I was pussy, I'd be filled with syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea, chlamydia, getting rid of ya. Got it locked like the penitentiary. Niggas mention me for MC execution. Who you choosing? The whack MC or the black fat MC? Jack Dempsey will start shaking, all it's taking is some marijuana and I'm making MCs break fast like flapjacks and bacon. Backspins the windmills, who's still the gin drinker? Ill thinker, exploding when the paper hits the ink. Take it Gangsta Chronicles, turn to page 666. Holocaust, Big the Merciless. Niggas press their luck in, they get a butt fucking. Straight up the ass, raw dog with the rash, and I don't fuck with the condoms. The condoms is a problem from the AIDS getting sprayed. Diseases, big pleases, MCs across the seas is just the way I crush my prey. Hey, I'm crazy and deranged, blowing niggas out the frame, simple and plain. But getting back to the black rhinoceros a rap. Big took a loss, how preposterous is that, nigga? Recognize. Notorious Biggie Smalls, 94, ready to die. Y'all niggas hold y'all heads. Mr. C, set it off, baby pop.
So once again, that was the legendary Mr. C freestyle that broke the notorious B.I.G. One of the freestyles that, you know, was his claim to fame, because he did quite a few of them actually back then in the early 90s. I was a kid. I was a young kid listening to hip hop on the radio, as most of us. What a time. What a time to be alive back then in the early 90s listening to hip-hop on the radio, man. I miss that. I miss early Hot 97, man. That's what I'll say. I miss early 90s Hot 97, man. That's the most nostalgic part of hip-hop. This early 90s Hot 97, man. Y'all had to be there. You had to be there. Speaking of hip-hop, like I said, death comes in threes. So the third person that actually passed, I don't know if it was today or yesterday. Patti Astor. Patti Astor, some of y'all might know, some of y'all don't know, but Patti Astor, the founder of the Fun Gallery of graffiti in New York City, was originally from the movie Wild Style, in which she played a reporter, not a reporter, but someone that was just, you know, in the art gallery world, and she was introducing graffiti into the art world. She was making it mesh, basically, because people didn't see graffiti as art back then. They just thought it was vandalism. So, real quick, I thought it would be cool if we go back in time once again.
So what's up, Joe Louis? I got this project going down. You know, we're gonna throw this jam this weekend, right?
This is the movie.
Now, you know the band show in the park on Avenue A and 7th Street?
You mean off the Lower East Side, that big thing by the river? It's like a big dome?
Yeah,
I've seen that.
You know, right?
There goes
Well,
Fab Five, Freddy
we
on
want
the
to get
left.
that thing painted because we're gonna throw the jam there. See?
And that would be Miss Patti Astor in the green dress.
The baddest graffiti artists be hanging out here. We got all the rap musicians, Cold Crush Brothers, Fantastic Five, Busy Beat, Little Routing C. Why not, man? I could rap
So
to people and
here
ask
they
them,
are,
man. I think
they're at a party.
it could happen.
They're at a gym.
Is that cool? I think it could happen.
Excuse me over there.
And she's with
One of
the
y'all have
artist
time?
Zorro.
It's a chilly night out here, ain't it? Really? So what y'all up to?
Nothing.
They look good, don't they, fellas?
It's this lady here.
Smoke?
Yeah, like, well, a lot. I think I got, had enough.
my sniffing. You sniff?
Well, not right now, I don't think. We gotta get in the car.
Why's that?
Well, we're sort of busy. We have another party we have to go to.
It's like that then, huh? Look, people, you heard it on the radio, you seen it on the TV show. A to the K. A to the motherfucking C.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, man, these people cool, man.
Yo, what's up, Faye? These your friends?
This is Virginia. She's a reporter, man. They all right. They cool, man. This my man Ray here. Ain't no need for this.
Yo, man, I'm sorry, man. I had no idea it was your friends.
It's all right, man. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry about that,
You
Faye.
know how that goes.
There's gonna be some very important people there, and they're dying to meet you. You're gonna be the hottest thing at this party.
I just can't believe that just people are just getting so interested in graffiti all of a sudden.
Listen, these people are ready for new thrills.
There's gonna be some influential people there, man.
Just trust me, Raymond. I'm gonna make you into a millionaire. Wait until I tell everybody at the party I almost got killed. They'll love it.
I had no
Crazy
idea
how
what
dangerous
people
it
were
actually
talking
used
about.
to be
It was out
back
of the blue.
That was a real thing they
And I'm
did.
sure you would have felt the same
That
way
wasn't
if you'd
just
been
acting.
unlucky enough to.
Hey, how you doing? Excuse me for interrupting.
That was
I'm
a real
Faye.
display of
I
the
came down
streets,
with
you know?
Virginia, the journalist.
Hi,
You must.
Neva.
You're Neva. Your place is really incredible. I mean, you got like all this cool modern art in here. Hey, what do you do?
I'm in the art business. I run that little museum down the street.
What's the name of it?
So Whitley.
Really?
Can I call you Zorro?
No. It'd be better off if you just call me Raymond.
Raymond, you can't paint them in the subway stations.
Well, graffiti has its own spots.
In special places like at night, you have to sneak in.
You can say that.
Well, if you work in the dark, how can you see what you're painting?
Well, I can't see what I'm painting, but I do know what I'm drawing, and I know my colors by heart already.
You ever get chased? Caught?
Yeah, I've gotten chased so many times, but the knuckleheads never got to catch me, you know. But you should see his work, because...
I've probably seen it. We spent $50,000 last year removing graffiti from the facade of our building.
Well, I'm sure Zorro's work wasn't on the facade of your building, but you should check out his painting, man.
Seems
It's
to
really
remember these
strong
reads.
stuff, you know?
Rat me.
Yeah, like, you know, the MCs, they get up on the mic, and they, like, shout at everybody, you know, everybody say ho.
Say ho.
I'll give you my card.
Wait, Zorro's over there. Let me go rap to him for a minute.
I'm leaving tonight. I'm going to Europe. I'll be away for 6 or 8 months, but when I get back, you bring him to see me, and I'll remember your face. I never forget a face, all right?
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Flange.
He was just telling me about the rat convention they're having in Delancey Street.
Yeah, the rat convention. You should come down. It's gonna be wild.
I'd love to. I was thinking of bringing some cameras down, doing a TV
Cameras?
special.
Really? Oh, TV special.
On TV.
Oh, really? There's someone you should definitely talk to. He came down with me and Ray.
Yeah, we met earlier. What are you doing? I was just talking to Raymond here about
the convention?
possibly doing a TV
Yeah,
special.
it's gonna be really serious. By the way, Raymond, Neva, the host of the party, wants to talk to you. She's right over there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really, I think this is really gonna
He's
be
an
a
incredible
big one.
graffiti artist.
Yeah, he's really good, this guy. I'm pretty good.
I'm Neva. Nice meeting you.
Nice
Zorro,
meeting you.
this is Neil.
Zorro, Neil.
How you doing?
Pleased to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Oh, you have?
Neil, would you do me a favor and get me another drink?
Certainly,
Please,
darling. Zorro, could I get you something from the bar?
Red wine would be okay.
You got it.
Okay.
Well,
How you doing?
okay, I'm very happy you're here.
You got a fantastic view over here. You know, I only see this in comic books, and now I'm standing here and watching the whole world at my feet. I feel like God almost. I would love to make a painting of this.
Well, that's exciting. Are you serious about that?
Yeah.
Well, if you are, there's something I must show you. Something
Okay.
real special. Okay?
Okay.
Come with me.
Serious, Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5.
I
see where the real treasures are. I wanted you to see these Liechtenstein.
All right, so real quick, fun history lesson on Miss Patti Astor as well. So this comes from Art News. I felt it would only right to be reading it from Art News. Patti Astor, a co-founder of Fun Gallery, the famed New York space that introduced a range of graffiti artists to the wider art world, has died at 74. Her death was announced on Tuesday by her official Instagram, which did not specify a cause. Aster occupies a central place in the lore of 1980s New York. At a time when few others believed in the value of graffiti art, she staked a claim for it, elevating a multiracial cast of artists in a white world that had not accepted them before her. In 1981, with Bill Stelling, Aster formed Fun Gallery, a scrappy space in the East Village with a much different edict from many New York galleries at the time. It was a white wine, white walls, white people. The art world was closed off and boring. She said in an interview in 2013, the year she self-published A History of the Gallery, the success of the Fun Gallery was to open up the art world to everybody. And Kenny Scharf lent the gallery its name. Jean Michel, Basquiat, Keith Haring, and Jane Dixon also showed there, but the gallery's true achievement was in bringing fame to graffiti artists such as Fatura Lee, Kinones, Fab Five Freddy, B.l.a.C, 2, and Dondi White, who produced work that mainstream gallerists did not view as a being art. Aster's Fun Gallery changed that. Fun Gallery, which started in a small storefront unit in the East Village that Aster and Stelling rented for $125 per month, lasted for just a few years, shuttering in 1985 after sales dried up at its Soho location. Yet by its end, the gallery had become a popular watering hole, and its programming had become closely watched by art critics. Today, its shows are considered to have defined an area. Patricia Titchener was born in 1950 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Both of her parents were physicians. Her father was a film lover, and she credited him with having spurred an interest in acting. She headed to San Francisco briefly, then left in 1968 to go to New York, where she took up the Poseidon Patti Astor and set out to become an actress. Since she could not afford to take classes at the hallowed Lee Strasberg Theater and Film Institute, she took a job as a janitor there, and then she moved to the East Village 7 years later. Gravitated toward the underground scene, working with directors such as Amos Poe and Jimmy Nears in the former's 1976 film Unmade Beds, about a photographer with a love for the French New Wave. Aster stars alongside Debbie Harry, Duncan Hannah. I felt I had arrived, Aster had once said. So she did become on to be a very good actor. Real quick, before we get into all that, I want to also, well, not into all that, before it got too late, I wanted to also look at that interview that she did with Basquiat and Fab Five Freddy at the Fun Gallery real quick, while we're at it.
The Fun Gallery was begun in 1981 by Bill Stelling and the underground movie actress Patti Astor. While acting in the movie Wild Style, Patti met graffiti writers like Fab Five Freddy, and the Fun Gallery soon became a top showcase for the best in graffiti from Manhattan and Brooklyn.
How'd you get involved with graffiti?
Coming down to the East Village, and I was looking at the stuff on the trains, and I met them at parties.
And what, you thought it was the most interesting art going, or the art that had the greatest potential?
Well, no, I just thought they were good artists. I know a lot of good artists, and I thought they were good artists too. I never really distinguished between graffiti and art, really.
Would you consider graffiti mainstream art or mainstream culture?
Well, I don't understand what's the difference between mainstream. I mean, just like the gallery, I never wanted to be considered an alternative space. I don't understand really the meaning of that word. I think that it can be appreciated by just about anybody. We've had shows all over the world, and a lot of some of these paintings in this show here have already been sold to banks to put in their corporate headquarters. Like this one. And I think that a lot of people, we are known a lot as a graffiti gallery, although I think as our other artists are starting to get more well known, that's changing. Because I never really sought to be a graffiti gallery or market it as graffiti at all. It's just art. And I think that a lot of people, when they come down, we finally get them down to the gallery and do a little education, they're very surprised by what they see when they get here, because they're just expecting a big bunch of throw-ups or something like what you see on the trains. I think if you have something worthwhile to offer, you're going to outlast any trend. And that's one reason why I've always tried to, as I said again, just present this just as art, because I think that it's a big responsibility to tell someone that you think they can be an artist and support them. And I don't have no intention of having these guys left in the lurch after 2 years. I think that there's a lot of people around that have every intention of doing that. They don't care. And just as I said, there's good artists and there's bad artists. The good ones will last and prevail. We were the first gallery to show individual artists from graffiti in individual shows, to differentiate that there's not just like graffiti. There's individual people who are artists who have very individual styles that are doing that, and we were the first gallery to give them one-man shows so that people could see their individual styles.
My name is actually Fred Brathwaite, but all my friends call me Fab Five Freddy.
Yeah, that referred to what, 5 graffiti artists?
Well, mainly the Lexington Avenue number 5 train, which the Fab Five, mainly Lee, Doc, Mono, and Slade and Slug, made famous for doing elaborate trains, subway, whole cars. I haven't done any graffiti since early 1980. Basically what I do now is just produce and produce and produce, paintings, stuff like that.
What's the difference of doing it on trains and doing it on canvas?
You can't do graffiti on canvas unless you're doing it in an illegal context. Graffiti is illegal. It's a crime, and it's like a teenage street activity in New York, which is really wholesome. It's like baseball, stickball, punchball, tag, ring-a-levio. It's a street game. Particularly what I see myself and my fellow artists that show here at the Fun Gallery, mainly Dondi, Zephyr, and Futura 2000. What we do is really a lot different from what we've done, or what we basically, people just like to throw the word graffiti around because, of course, it sounds like, illegal, Robin Hood or whatever. But it's not about that for us, Well, basically what I'm doing with this show is what I call still lifes in space, Basically paintings that I wanted to make for a long time, but didn't have time to make them because I just was, I did a movie, Wild Style, and I made a couple of records. But they just came out in about 2 weeks of painting.
This is Jean-Michel Basquiat, a Brooklyn-born 23-year-old of Haitian Puerto Rican descent whose rapid rise from street graffiti artist to international art figure has been one of the cultural wonders of the 1980s. In 1982, the prolific Basquiat seemed to be in every group show on Expressionism, had solo exhibitions at major galleries in Soho, Zurich, and Los Angeles, and still had the energy to produce this large show at the Fun Gallery in New York's East Village. The Fun Gallery specializes in graffiti art, and Basquiat's exhibition was a special event that demonstrates that he still identifies with his unique artistic roots. Graffiti artists express themselves by quickly drawing words and pictures on public walls, and although he has moved to paint on canvas, Basquiat has maintained a similar spontaneous approach. With little inhibition, the self-taught artist splashes paint, draws, crosses out, and draws again. This work is called Jawbone of an Ass, and it has Basquiat's familiar mix of words, pictures, and abstract brushwork. His crude images, like this carnivorous bird, may seem naive, but they reveal basic truths and are filled with knowing humor. On the upper left, Basquiat has crossed out the words Rodin's thinker and has painted a contemplative black youth in a ghetto hat. In the center is a list of names, mostly from ancient history. In simple block letters, Basquiat has written Alexandria, Hector, and Aristophanes, names which not only connote glories of the past, but also remind us of school and our own enculturation. Some names have been crossed out or deliberately misspelled, and when we read the names, we can almost hear their sound. Basquiat creates concrete poetry, and his art has been reproduced in literary publications like the Paris Review. We asked Basquiat about the words in his paintings.
Where do the words come from?
Real life books, television.
Yeah, and you just skim them and start including...
No, I mean, when I'm working, I hear them, and I just throw them down.
Oh, yeah? Well, I mean, things like Punic Wars. I remember that was in one of your...
Oh, that was from a guidebook on Roman history.
And you had been reading it, and...
Well, it wasn't that long, that actual history part of it. It's like, history of Rome in 5 pages,
Yeah, and so you snatched a few words from it.
Yeah, I didn't snatch them,
They caught your...
They caught my eye, and I took them.
This painting is another mix of loosely connected notations. With words and pictures, Basquiat plays with the basic theme of anatomy and the human body. Showing his street smarts, he has named this painting Da Vinci's Greatest Hits, an allusion to Leonardo's famous anatomy studies at the Royal Library at Windsor Castle. One body part that Basquiat seems especially fond of is the foot, and this painting is filled with disarming, fresh drawings of feet seen from every direction. Basquiat learns about anatomy by studying traditional art, and in the upper right corner there is a reference to the return of the prodigal son and a drawing of the son's leg as he kneels to beg his father's forgiveness. On the left side of the canvas is some abstract brushwork, and below that is a huge leg. The red, blue, and black lines remind us of diagrams on medical charts. The distortions of the foot are especially gross and seem influenced by another childlike artist, Picasso. Below the foot, a man works on a railroad. Hammering spikes is hard work, and it is no wonder this man has a muscular torso. A torso has shoulder blades, ribs, and a spine, as we can see in this carefully labeled anatomical drawing. By focusing on anatomy, Basquiat resurrects a basic mode of art that anyone can relate to. This painting is filled with cleverly drawn pictorial references, and it is funny, smart, expressionistic satire. We asked Basquiat about his interest in anatomy.
I want to do some anatomy stuff.
And
then I went out and bought some books that are about anatomy.
And then you started imitating.
Well, not really imitating, because but I use them as a source material.
Yeah. So why'd you want to do anatomy stuff?
Because I felt like it.
Because you felt like it, or just becoming conscious of your own body?
No, just for more academic references, to juxtapose them with what I do normally.
Yeah, and what do you say you do normally? That you're
I guess my first instinct would be to do a head.
Here, on quilted bedding material, painted a bright yellow and tied to a wooden frame, is the expressive face of a black man. Basquiat knows black culture, and this unstretched canvas depicts the black middleweight boxing champion, Sugar Ray Robinson, complete with a crown like those used in graffiti signature tags. Graffiti artists draw their images on any surface, and for Basquiat, this has resulted in an inventive attitude towards the traditional stretch canvas. This canvas has become a hotel with 200 rooms, and it is named after 2 Fleabag hotels and a fancy one on Fifth Avenue. This 3-part painting is all about food, and we can again see the playful way Basquiat expresses a basic theme with deceptively simple drawings and words. To the left, he has written swine and poultry, slightly atypical words which seem to imply a double entendre. Since a chicken lays eggs, it's worth dollars, so it is not surprising that this crudely drawn chicken looks frightened. Off to the right is some pork dressed in a top hat and monocle. Basquiat probably copied this picture from a comic book or animated cartoon. The pig may look sophisticated, but he better not forget that he's 100% pure meat, and that means he's worth money. When we visited Basquiat's downtown studio, we talked about the content of one of his recent canvases and gained new insight into the way this amazing young artist fuses far-flung imagery into striking, humorous, expressive paintings. Let's just go through what's this?
Pluto. Based on a drawing that was the first drawing of the moon by Galileo.
Ah, and so this is actually an image of the moon there.
No, actually, it's an image. Actually, it's actually an image of the moon. No, it's based on a drawing of the moon, but it's an image of Pluto.
Yeah. This looks like an eye.
Yeah. That's the evil eye, the Malocchio.
Oh. And below there, what's this down the way?
That's a Roman belt buckle. This says parasites.
Parasites.
Yeah.
And parasites meaning people?
No,
or
meaning parasites.
Meaning parasites. So when you're working on this, this Roman belt buckle, how'd you decide to?
Oh, that's from a drawing I did at the Metropolitan of a Roman belt buckle that was bronze.
And so you just decided you wanted to put a Roman belt buckle there and went to your drawing?
No, I wanted to put a Roman belt buckle on this painting, right? I had the idea to do it, and then I went all the way to Metropolitan Museum, and I just did the drawing of the buckle, and I came back with it, and I put it right there.
Oh, well, that's kind of a slow process.
I'm a slow person.
Once again, the amazing, legendary street artist Basquiat. In case people never seen Basquiat before or never got to experience, his work, or seen a Basquiat in person. So if you guys don't remember you've all drawn the S in school, right? You've all drawn the S in school. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about right here. Because y'all all, if you haven't before, you're lying. But I'm gonna show you something real quick. You've all drawn this in school before. My thing with. Yep. All right. Here we go. See that S right there? That red S on the left? Everybody's drawn this before. That's Basquiat's S. So, just doing y'all homework, just give y'all a little tidbit. If you ever listen to anything, any of my music that was on the platform here on the channel, that's where Basquiat's S name came from. Also. But anyway, yes, like I said, you've all drawn this before, so like I said, I felt it was intriguing to enlighten y'all with that as well, as far as how his process used to go and how he used to create. It was so simplistic. It wasn't too much thought into it. It was just more freestyle and feeling, if anything, back then, just like graffiti, just like how art is supposed to be. It's just through feeling and how you're feeling at the time. You can make anything with art. Or should I say, you can make art with anything, as he did. Like the belt buckle. But yeah, shout out once again and rest in peace to Patti Astor, who that interview was truly about. But I had to, like I said, let it play because that was one of the legendary street artists that she had brought in to say, hey, do your thing here. Do it. Do what you like here. Do what you think. Do your thing. And look what he became. Just goes to show when you're not scared to do your damn thing. You know? Basquiat wasn't scared. Basquiat wasn't scared, no competition. Neither was Patti Astor. Mr. C was competitive, as you heard. Oj Simpson didn't want to lose. With that being said, hip-hop has had a very tragic moment happen to us. And it's hard to recover from this one. J. Cole fans, see, I'm a fan of all three of these gentlemen. Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. So, it literally hurts my soul to see this man get up here on this stage and apologize for his words. Number one, it wasn't just a 7-minute drill record. It wasn't just the 7-minute drill record that he went in on him. But real quick, we'll pull up the 7-minute drill lyrics because since he didn't want to say it, and I can't necessarily play it. All right, where's that last part at? I feel like half the screen is cut off on me right here. Alright, so as you can see, this is on his Might Delete Later. Which, that was another telling thing. You had an album called Might Delete Later. Alright, so where's the Kendrick diss at? Okay, here we go. So, came up in the Ville, so I'm good when it's tension. He's still doing shows, but fell off like the Simpsons. Your first shit was classic, your last shit was tragic. Your second shit put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Your third shit was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, and I just now had my time. Now I'm in front of the line with a comfortable lead. How ironic, soon as I got it, now he wants something with me. Well, he caught me at the perfect time. Jump up and see. Boy, I got here off bars, not no controversy. Funny thing about it, bitch, I don't even want the prestige. Fuck the Grammys, cause them crackers never eat nothing for me. Whole slugs took my niggas' souls. Drugs took another one. The rap beef ain't realer than the shit I seen to Cumberland. He averaging one hard verse like every 30 months or something. If he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing him. Lord, don't make me have to smoke this nigga, cause I fuck with him. But push come to shove on this mic, I will humble him. I'm Nina with this thing, this New Jack City meme. Yeah, I'm aiming at G Money, crying tears before I busted him. So the crazy thing was, it wasn't even, and I kept saying this before. I kept saying this before to people. Because everybody was like, oh. I was like, just like the Like That verse. It was a warning shot from Kendrick, right? This was just warning shots. as he would go to say later on in the verse as well, this was just warning shots from both of them. So it wasn't really nothing heavy. It wasn't nothing personal. Like, Cole didn't really say nothing, damaging like that. This wasn't like how Pusha really said something about Drake and Drake had to really chill out for a second. Like, it wasn't one of those. You know what I mean? Which, that's why everyone is waiting upon Drake right now, because Drake is battle tested, unlike Cole. But hip hop took a very, very damaging hit. I had to save my clip for this one.
Me, right? So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right? Because y'all heard some shit that happened 3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right?
The bazooka.
So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole?
Right. As they're supposed to
My
be.
niggas like, boy, I must have had 1,000 missed calls. Oh my fucking God.
As you're supposed
Text
to.
flooded. I couldn't even answer my shit. Nigga, it's wartime.
Right.
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 Niggas
Where's
wanna
your
see
mindset?
blood. And I was conflicted because, one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. I don't know if y'all can feel that, but the world want to see blood.
So, two things in that, right? So, yes, world wants to see blood. The world wants to see blood. There's a double entendre in that, what he's saying with the, do you feel that? He's just trying to say, yes, the world wants nothing but war. The world feeds off nothing but war. So, yes, I understand that, Cole. I understand that shit. From the conscious side, I understand what you're trying to say, my brother. Trust me, I do. However, nigga, this is hip-hop. This is rap. What is this pussyfied shit you talking about up here on the stage? What is this? What is this shit you talking about here?
So I say all of that to say, in my spirit of trying to like get this music out,
in my spirit,
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back, and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day,
he ain't keep it friendly with you.
And when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace. So what I want to say right here tonight is, in the midst of me doing that and in that shit, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness, I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone?
It's over.
Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct?
It's over. He waved the white flag right there. He waved the white flag. He waved the white flag. I come in peace. That's what J. Cole just did. He waved the white flag and said, I come in peace. I am putting my gun down. I don't want any more bullets. I'm putting my gun down. Please don't shoot anymore. That's what he's saying up there. Please don't shoot me anymore. I'm putting my guns down. I feel hurt that I'm even in this battle. You know. Let's let bygones be bygones.
So I just want to come up here and be like, publicly be like, bruh, that was the lamest, like, goofiest shit. And I say all that to say, it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm going to take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good.
Go.
It's love. And I pray that, I pray that y'all are like.
And you can hear Cole was nervous as he was saying this stupid shit. You could hear Cole nervous saying this shit. That's the crazy part. He knew he wasn't supposed to say this shit. He was trying to stand tall up on top of a mountain. Be he on top of that mountain by his damn self.
Forgive a nigga for like the misstep, and then I can get back to my true path. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Past 2 days felt terrible. Like it let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years. So all of that to say, man, I wanna now perform the song that's a reminder to me.
I don't want to hear none of that shit no more. Because you went on to perform Love Yours. But, nigga, you had, let me just say this too, right? You had a chance to make a moment. You are at your Dreamville concert with however many thousands of people out there. This is basically your summer jam. This is your Hot 97 summer jam. This is your WrestleMania. Nigga, what are you doing up there? You had a chance to make a moment with that 7-minute drill record, and even the niggas don't want no smoke with me. I'm one of them ones. You had a chance to make a super hip hop moment up there. You have been for the past 5, 6, 7 years telling people you are that one. You get up there, even get the chance to rap with Drake finally. Drake now respects you and say, yo, you one of them ones. Yeah, you up here with me. The Spider-Man memes. Me, you, and Drake. Man, the big three. You know what I'm saying? We're the big three. And the big three, one of the big three said, fuck you, it's just me. Nigga, what you gonna do about it? And this is what you did about it. This is what you did about it, Cole. I'm highly disappointed. I'm highly disappointed. Hip-hop is highly disappointed in you. I understand what you was trying to do. You're trying to keep the peace and go a different route compared to what we're used to. I understand. But nigga, this ain't the time. We're finally talking about rap again. I started talking about rap again, damn it. And this the shit you pull? Man. So, people are now waiting upon Drake to respond. I have just skimmed through the We Still Don't Trust You album. Supposedly Kendrick was on it. I didn't hear any Kendrick verses. If I did, I missed it. Was trying to catch something mid-pod, but couldn't catch that. Supposedly Drake is set to respond sometime this evening or tomorrow, but that remains to be seen, of course. Yeah. Drizzy is we're waiting upon Drake because Cole has let us down. He let Nas down again. You let Jay-Z down again. You let Suge Knight down again. Suge Knight done already done dissed you. Suge Knight done took words to you. That's the wild part. Suge Knight done took words to you. I mean, that's the thing, man. Because, like I said, this is a contact sport. This is a blood sport. You cannot be shucking and jiving on this shit here, man. Because my whole thing is, like I said, you've been talking about you are the illest and you're the best at this shit. You don't want, niggas ain't as nice as you. I mean, you've been talking the talk competitively. That's why I don't understand why you would back down from this. Because that doesn't even make sense to us. It makes zero sense when we expect different. We expect straight on competitiveness. We expect you to come with the bars for days. We expected you to have some joints on him for a minute. That's another thing. We expected you to have a couple of different joints in case he came back at you. That's another thing. We was hoping that you had some joints in case he came back at you. That's the wild part. You stepped right the fuck up out of this. You stepped right on out of this. Like I said, the hip hop world cannot believe this shit that you did. I want to play what Suge Knight said real quick. Because, in a nutshell, you know, he said what needed to be said.
Oh my God, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick. He the only motherfucker with a cigar. J. Cole, you're supposed to say what you mean what you say. To be the best, you gotta beat the best. It's a contact sport. As we used to say back in the day, if you don't want to be a gangster rapper, go be R&B. West Coast, stand up. It's a victory. Kendrick Lamar's a real motherfucker from the hood. He really from there. And everybody gonna ride with him. J. Cole, with that attitude, we'll still be enslaved. Remember, be the best. You gotta beat the best. Just like it. When I said what I said about Puffy at the Source Awards, Puffy would have...
He said with that attitude, we still be in slavery. Yeah, I know that's right.
Took his tail, instead of getting on him, he'd have been a disappointment to my people, because he'd have been out to be a bitch in front of everyone. When one looked bad, we all look bad. We all gotta remember that. When Kobe Bryant played Michael Jordan in the All-Star game, Kobe showed up and played his best game ever. So we don't got time for no pussy shit. I'm gonna tell you like I tell my son, if you act like a pussy, people gonna treat you like a pussy. And you know what happens to a pussy? A pussy gets fucked. This is a contact sport. Contact sport. Can't handle the field of tackle, down a flag. Kendrick Lamar, woo, West Coast, yeah, I'm smiling. Kendrick, I know I'm old now, but you motherfucker got some fiber on that motherfucker. I'm gonna put on this all eyes on me and do 100 burpees, 100 push-ups, shit. I'm gonna work out all day. Like I said before, only the strong side. And for you weirdos, it's easy to be a soldier. There ain't no war.
So, yeah, it's sad week for hip hop as far as that goes. Until Drake responds, we are waiting on him to once again rekindle the flame of what J. Cole has just now put the fuck out again. Unbelievable, just unbelievable, unfucking believable. That's all I got to say about that. Speaking of unbelievable, I can't believe Jason Derulo. Nerve of Jason Derulo. Isn't this shit?
I know that you worked with Diddy, you know, and he's helped your career a lot. Do you feel like people should be giving him some grace? Or at least giving him the grace of, you know, saying, you know, he is innocent until proven guilty?
I believe in that. I believe in innocent before proven guilty, for sure.
Do you feel like they're kind of, like, going too hard on him, maybe? I appreciate you. Thank you, Jason. Have a great day.
So, as you can see, Jason Derulo believes in innocent until proven guilty. But what is baffling to me is the same thing that Mr. Boosie has said before. Why are all you motherfuckers scared to say something? Why are all y'all scared to say something in regards to Mr. Sean Combs? I am just a little bit confused upon that part there. Why y'all all tucking your tail and don't want to say nothing when it comes to Mr. Combs and these Diddy parties that y'all been to? Why y'all all being so quiet and nervous? All y'all nervous. You're very nervous. Another person that was a little nervous was Mr. Ray J. They tried to hustle Ray J down the streets for some more on the Diddy.
You have seen only like Stevie J say something, you know, in defense of Diddy, and all of those people who are his quote unquote, you know, that's his people, you know, that's his friends, you know, are hesitant. Maybe do you think they're hesitant to say something because, you know, whatever could happen to them? Because, you know, there's subpoenas going out, there's this, there's that. Do you think that's what's happening? You know, or is there another reason why other people ain't speaking out in his defense?
I think a lot of people are just trying to understand it.
understand what is and what's not, you know? It's still a big question mark. Pray for everybody, though. Prayers go up for everybody.
Well, what do you think about, like, the idea that, like, there's people saying it's not the Diddy party, that the legendary Diddy party was the problem, it's the after party. You think that's more of what the feds are, like, looking into here? Not because you've been to the regular party, you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone's been to those parties. Those weren't problematic in any way, according to those, like, recap videos. And, you know, I mean, what do you think?
I don't know, man. I gotta plead the fifth on that one.
You've been in the game for so long doing reality. How do you feel like, you know, as the boss of a network, like, you change the game?
You know, it's when you start these businesses, it takes a while to, like, get this thing up and running.
Okay, as he's running away. One person that isn't scared to talk about a Diddy party is a celebrity bodyguard that actually, you know, was at a Diddy party and actually said he's seen Dwight Howard. Isn't that something?
All right, big homie.cc.
Yes, sir. What's the word, bro? How you living?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here, man.
Man, that's what's up. I'm glad to have you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
For sure, man. So for everybody who might not know who you are, can you kind of give them like an introduction to who you are and what you do?
It's your boy BH, man. You know, celebrity bodyguard, rapper, entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of celebrity stars, I'm the person they call when they get treacherous. You feel me? Like, when they can't call like a normal security, they got to call somebody who got reach in the street. They got to call somebody who can, you know, when they got a female passed out in the hotel room and the police on their ass, they got to call me. You know what I'm saying? People trying to kill them, getting extorted, they got to call me. That's why I charge a fee. You know what I'm saying? The truth, the facts.
That's what it is. Well, the biggest news going on right now is Diddy.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on Diddy? Have you ever worked with Diddy? Have you ever met Diddy?
I met him a couple times. I definitely worked with him. But everything everybody's saying, I've been saying for years, bro. I've been saying it for years. Like, man, these boys are weird. You feel me? Like, you will go to a party with them, and you looking around like, damn, like, a lot of guys kissing each other in here, man. You feel me? What y'all do is y'all business.
So you've been to a party and seen this?
Oh, I've seen it firsthand, multiple times.
Damn.
I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress, bro.
What?
I seen Dwight Howard in a pink dress with two other trans ladies in dresses. They all the same height at a Diddy party.
Oh.
Ask about Dwight Howard in Mexico.
What's up with Dwight Howard in Mexico?
You know, they don't got paparazzi out there like that. You feel me? They was down there hooping. He going to the club with these same trans ladies. Nobody saying nothing. That's why he not in the league right now. You heard about him catching the sexual assault on the little designer dude?
Yep.
Right. Him, imagine you got two 7-foot-tall, swole guys in dresses cornering you in a hotel in a bedroom. You finna be scared. Facts. So, like, I distinctly remember going to a Diddy party, all the waitresses topless. They serving you, everybody topless, you feel me? Like, he got dancers in cages, people walking around with lions on tigers on leashes. I seen this with my own two eyes, you see what I'm saying? And it was getting so weird in the party, I'm like, man, I tell the security team I'm working with, bro, let me sit outside in the Escalade. So I go outside in the Escalade and I'm just chilling out there because, you know, bro, I got a reputation to maintain, bro, outstanding member. Like, I don't want nobody thinking that, man, they got BH with this? That was always a concern for me, bro. That was always a concern. I seen it for myself because Bobby Valentino was the person I was bodyguarding there. You see what I'm saying? He tell me, I done got so much pussy before, you know, pussy don't even really excite me. I'm like, well, what you mean? But he there. What you mean? On bro, folks' grave. I said, what you mean? So he got two girls with him. So I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, hold on. these might not be normal girls. Sure enough. Now he say, man, take my girl to the bathroom. Like, okay. We walk into the bathroom, you feel me? She go into the men's bathroom. But that's not all the way crazy because it's one bathroom packed, you feel me? People might do that. You know what I'm saying? So people start swarming the door. So I step inside the bathroom door. She's standing at the urinal. Dress lifted up. I'm like, damn.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's how they coming? All right. So, you know, I'm gonna tell everybody this. If you at a celebrity party and them white guys come in like they was on Twilight, look like vampires, they holding their drink like this, you feel me, with the blonde hair, stuff like that, it's finna get crazy in the party now, you feel me? Seen it too many times. When the white guys come in like they was on a vampire movie, bro. Hella gel, spikes sticking up, around a bunch of black dudes. Yeah, somebody finna get their cakes touched on, bro.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like.
Okay, so one thing he did say in there that caught my attention on something. Bring up my video. One thing that caught my attention on something was Pierre's. He mentioned the Tigers, and the only thing I could think of was Pierre P's birthday party. So, do you guys remember when I showed Diddy hosting that Coach P or that CEO P party? For some strange reason, that party has been taken. That party has been taken down, and I feel like going through my Migos video just to find it, but I'm not gonna do that here. But it is kind of weird that it's a little bit hard to find now. Let's see if I could find it here. Oh, wait a minute. I think I got it again. So this would be the party, COP's party, because remember he bought him a tiger. I remember him saying that specifically, that he had bought him a tiger. Which was pretty crazy. So that might have been one of the freak-off parties right there, which would have been CEO P. Thomas's party, his birthday party, which we saw that same exact thing that the big homie CC was just talking about. He said he saw some tigers walking around in there. Now, I believe he said the location.
Okay, you guys, so P brought...
Oh man, so listen, it's one of them type of nights, it's a DeLeon type of night. We're gonna celebrate one of our black kings, and let's toast up to black excellence. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Love, 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 love.
Legendary. That look beautiful. Get this clear. Good. Yeah, we out here. The king. Yeah, man. Get in the middle.
Gifted him a tiger for his birthday.
Diddy's in the building. Love, what we doing, Sean? Come on.
the Diddy parties. Interesting. This is one of the freak offs, I should say. That CEO Thomas mentioned.
My boy got that shit right now. My boy got that shit. Oh, that nigga. Oh, that right. That right.
It's a holiday. It's a holiday. It's a birthday.
I got this shit on. How you feel? Man, listen, man. It's in us, man. It ain't on us, man. It's in us, man. You know what I mean, man? You look good. Set up, man.
Yeah.
What's up, King? What's up, King?
I didn't get my hit till
Man, do not play with this boy. Don't even do it. Don't. Hold up, man. Hold up, man. Man, don't play with him. Hey, man. Sir. Come on, man. Come on, sir. How you feel?
Well, speaking of everyone looking unbothered, Christian Combs has been seen unbothered with his sexual assault case recently, and want to take a look at that as well, real quick, because that's a little bit.
Christian King Combs appearing unbothered less than a week after being sued for sexual assault. Diddy's 26-year-old son sharing this video montage on Instagram, having fun at a bowling alley. The carefree clip comes just days after a yacht steward filed a lawsuit against Christian, alleging he sexually assaulted her in December 2022.
The victim in the case has produced audio recordings that allegedly shows forcing himself upon her and that he wouldn't take no for an answer.
The woman says it all happened during what was supposed to be a wholesome family excursion with Christian and his father.
Check this out, y'all. This is Diddy. This is my son, King Combs. I've been watching my pop since I was a kid. And I'm proud of you, boy.
She says Diddy was the one chartering the yacht for the trip.
This lawsuit is bad for Diddy. He may be able to get out of it, but the optics are terrible when he's already facing a criminal investigation. This may be the nail in the coffin for him.
The woman also claims drugs were being used during the trip, and she alleges there was, quote, a constant rotation of suspected sex workers. Diddy and Christian's attorney denies the woman's allegations, telling ET, "We will be filing a motion to dismiss this outrageous claim."
Can't nobody hold me down.
The allegations against Christian playing out amid his father's own investigation, and coming out just weeks after the rapper's son was detained during a raid on Diddy's Los Angeles mansion. Diddy's ex, Misa Hilton, sharing this security video from inside the Beverly Hills home, blasting Homeland Security for using excessive and militarized force on Christian and their 30-year-old son, Justin. Misa writes, "If these were the sons of a non-black celebrity, they would not have been handled with the same aggression." Meanwhile, no charges have been yet filed against Diddy, who also appeared unbothered while waving to fans in Miami over the weekend.
Much love. We love you.
Right now, it's a waiting game for Diddy and his family, but I think they expect that charges are coming.
And Christian appears to be keeping up with life as usual.
So interesting. Everyone's just living their life basically, and I mean, as that's what they're supposed to tell them to do, right? The lawyer's probably telling them the same thing, like, "Hey, if you're innocent, look like you're innocent. Don't try to, don't look like you're guilty or anything like that." So that's why they're, out and about, just chilling, not really saying anything because nobody has been actually charged or anything. That's another thing. So let's read that actual, case here, real quick as well, while we're at it. Scrolling on it. Alright, I feel I'm gonna take myself away. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Ooh. You know what? I feel like doing this too. Nah, never mind. Anyway, so plaintiff's love of yachting. Well, let's read up real quick. So, parties. Plaintiff Grace O. Marquet. Now, also, this is from 2022. They said, which is interesting. So, Christian Combs, Sean Combs, John Jane Doe, ABC Corporations. All right, so plaintiff Grace O. Marseille, or Marquet, I want to say that right. I apologize if I'm not saying it right. Is a European Caucasian female who worked as a stewardess in the yachting industry since 2018. Plaintiff's love of yachting started at an early age. Hold on, let me bring this down a little bit. Started at an early age and was the foundation on which she had built her career. Through yachting, Plaintiff has traveled the world, met many new friends and colleagues, and enjoyed a very successful career. Throughout her career, Plaintiff has always worked well with teams and received high praises and great feedback from her managers and colleagues. Plaintiff also consistently received exemplary reviews from her clients for her excellent customer service, as well as glowing references over the past few years. The plaintiff has consistently received promotions and has never been rejected for any positions as she had applied for. Prior to being sexually assaulted by defendant Christian Combs, hereinafter defendant Combs plaintiff planned to work the entirety of her career in hospitality and young yachting industry. Unfortunately, those plans have been derailed due to the trauma the plaintiff has continued to have a result of the assault. Defendant Christian Combs is a 25-year-old auto-tuned and heavily edited rapper. That is a little bit distasteful to put in a actual lawsuit. Let me also say that. You don't put things like that in an actual lawsuit, that he's a auto-tuned and heavily edited rapper. That has nothing to do with the actual assault, nothing to do with the case. And nothing in the report is even talking about him rapping. So to be disrespectful in a lawsuit like that is a little bit absurd. I didn't know we could actually do that. That's the crazy part right there. That's a crazy headline right there. Unfortunately, as the saying, the apple does not fall far from the tree. That's a little bit harsh as well. That's a little bit crazy as well. That is a little bit crazy as well. And when you seeing things like this, I can see why Diddy would be playing victory in his Instagram when the lawyer on the plaintiff side is doing shenanigans like this and saying the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And he's a 25-year-old auto-tuned, heavily edited rapper. You don't say things like that in a lawsuit. Anyway, defendant Sean Combs, who has been accused of several acts of sexual assault, rape, sexual violence, and drugging, among other deplorable conduct, is the father of defendant Christian Combs, who has seemingly taken after his father in the family business of reckless partying, drugging others, sexual violence, and other illegal conduct. I get it. They're trying to dress it up. They're trying to dress it up on the defendant's side. On the plaintiff's side. Specifically, defendant Christian Combs is the second child of the billionaire defendant Sean Combs and his late ex-partner Kim Porter. Upon information and belief, defendant Christian Combs resides in the city of Beverly Hills, California, Los Angeles County, California. Defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and record executive popularity. Let's go on down here. Sean Combs became famous in the early 90s directly with Bad Boy Records. He rose to prominence. We already know about that part, so this is the jurisdiction, and then we'll get down to the facts common of all cause. So in or around July 2022, Grace O'Mars was working on Victorious, a super yacht built by Basquiat and owned and operated by Fraser. Plaintiff was working as a temporary second stewardess for the company. what does that say? Aquarium. Aquarium, excuse me. Yes, Aquarium. Plaintiff worked in her temporary position for a month on Victorious, then was subsequently offered a permanent position due to her professionalism, passion for the job, and great customer service skills. In or about September 2022, Plaintiff had been a part of a dedicated team at the Monaco Boat Show tasked with selling charters for Victorious to high net worth clients such as Christian Combs and Sean Combs. December 2022, Plaintiff and her team were advised that the yacht had been successfully chartered for the 2022 holiday period. Plaintiff changed her personal holiday family plans to accommodate the charter service and flew to the St. Martin to prepare the yacht for service. Plaintiff soon learned the client who chartered the yacht was defendant Sean Combs and his family. Defendant Sean Combs leased the yacht and had full control of the staff and premises of the yacht. Although plaintiff was used to working in discreet and VIP environments, this was one of her first times working with an A-list celebrity. Because of this, plaintiff and the rest of the team assigned to the yacht were determined to make the holiday special for defendant Sean Combs and his family. For the duration of the trip, plaintiff was assigned the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift along with one other crew member. This shift, commonly known as the late shift, was very busy. Late shift duties include dinner and drink service for the clients and for the entire 12-hour period. Dinner and drink service had to be carried out with the minimum staff support to back up during the night shift, since only 2 individuals were assigned. Although defendant Sean Combs was always typically on the yacht, his sons, defendant Christian Combs and Justin Combs, were staying in the luxury villa nearby, just joined their father aboard the yacht most evenings. During the second week of the charter service, there was a significant amount of partying and drug use, which caused the guests to stay up throughout the night. The makeup of the yacht quickly evolved from just defendant Sean Combs and his family to include a constant rotation of suspected sex workers and other A-list celebrities, such as, such as French Montana and Cuba Gooding Jr. So it's the second time Cuba Gooding Jr. has been mentioned in a lawsuit. And as you guys remember, what did I show you guys? The St. Bart's trip? I showed you guys the St. Bart's trip with who? The French Montana was right there. So who's to say that this isn't that same trip? I wonder. Defendant Sean Combs turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion into a, hedonistic environment. According to plaintiff, resulted in an unexpected increase in workload for her and her colleagues, as well as unwanted exposure to unlawful drug use, sex work, and general chaos. It also created an extremely hazardous environment. For example, guests often demanded drink service until 6 a.m. Staff was often treated with disrespect. Suspected sex workers were sprawled out unconscious about the yacht, and it was difficult to distinguish which bottles of alcohol were laced with drugs and which bottles were not. So that's not the first time we heard about the alcohol laced with drugs. We heard that in Cassie's case, we heard that in Little Rod's case, and now we're hearing that in this young girl's case, that the bottles are drugged and laced. Isn't that something? It's important to note that as a bartender, plaintiff understands the impact of alcohol and the likelihood that a person would not generally become intoxicated following one mixed drink. Because of this, plaintiff found it very suspicious that after one shot of De Leon tequila or one mixed drink, various women on the yacht would be falling over themselves, panicking, or just passing out. This led plaintiff to reasonably believe that the alcohol given to these women was likely laced with drugs. Plaintiff was aware that Rodney Jones, the producer who was employed to work on the Love album Off the Grid, was required to be on standby for musical recordings, often late into the night. So this is also an incident during the time that Little Rod was there. So again, this is pretty much part of his lawsuit as well. The Love album Off the Grid is the 5th studio album, blah, blah, blah. We already know about that already. On about that early morning of December 28th, 2022, the evening shift started as normal at 5 a.m. Plaintiff was messaged on the on-duty yacht. The defendant, Christian Combs, will be joining the yacht by a tender, a small craft that runs back and forth from a larger yacht and used for servicing and providing support and entertainment to a private charter yacht. Christian Combs had wanted to be brought over to the Victorious to record in the yacht's makeshift recording studio in Mr. Jones, with Mr. Jones. Although it was not unheard of for Christian Combs to come aboard at such a late hour, he usually stayed at his dwelling offshore overnight, excuse me, particularly when there was no party on board or on any given night. So Christian Combs arrived in the tender and was heavily intoxicated. And plaintiff suspects Christian Combs was intoxicated from a mixture of narcotics and alcohol. Upon entering the recording studio, Christian Combs immediately started ordering that tequila shots be poured from a bottle of alcohol he may have brought onto the yacht. Ironically, Christian Combs was playing Cassie's Me and You. It is ironic. Was playing in the background. Ironically, Christian Combs was playing Cassie's Me and You. Was playing in the background. The typos in this shit. Cassie was an artist under Sean Combs and was his former love interest, who also accused Sean Combs of serious sexual and mental abuse. See how they tied that in there? See how they tied that in there real quick? I noticed that. So, like I said, this is Tyrone Blackburn as well. Tyrone Blackburn is behind these lawsuits, if y'all haven't noticed. He's the one defending the girl as well as Little Rod. I think he's also helping defending Cassie, but Cassie's working with the feds strictly right now. She's not even working with Tyrone like that. Well, maybe she is. Anyway, where are we at? So who also accused her? Yeah. So in the studio, Christian Combs asked the plaintiff bring the shots to the recording studio sun deck, and plaintiff obliged as she was the only serving steward at the time. Plaintiff noticed immediately that he was particularly attentive with her, which she considered very inappropriate. However, plaintiff began to become concerned when he insisted that she take shots of tequila he may have brought on board the yacht. So remember, let's paint the picture right here. He comes on board from the villa, basically, wants to record some music. He's in the studio, whatever, chilling or whatever, and he sees the stewardess. And he thinks the stewardess is cute, so he's trying to get her to come over and chill with him on the couch or whatever while he's recording or putting his rhymes together, trying to get the inspiration together, if you will. Okay? Now, he's also very fucked up at this time because he's been drinking way too much. Obviously, he's probably slurring at this point, and probably a little bit wobbly and incoherent. Also, he's a little bit belligerent and pretty much going to be aggressive at this point if he's off that much liquor and appearing to be that drunk. Especially at 25 years old, if he's that drunk, he's probably going to be a little bit more aggressive than he even means to be. But let's also paint the picture of Little Rod is there. Little Rod is also seeing this, so there's definitely video footage of this. Remember, because Little Rod said he had hours of video footage while wherever he was at, so he definitely has this on recording, as well as there's an audio of this. So Little Rod should have the actual video footage of this incident, being that he was the one recording Christian Combs at the time as well. So also be note that this wasn't any party going on. There was no party going on upstairs or anything like that. It was just him in the studio with Little Rod and the stewardess, of course. So in the studio, Christian Combs and the plaintiff bring the shots to the recording studio sun deck, and plaintiff obliged that she was the only one serving steward at the time. Plaintiff noticed immediately that he was particularly attentive with her, which she considered very inappropriate. However, plaintiff began to become concerned when he insisted that she take shots of tequila he may have brought on board the yacht. So it wasn't like it was just a regular bottle of tequila from the bar. It was something that he brought with him. That was probably already laced. Under pressure and wanting to be polite, plaintiff obliged. Prior to this, the plaintiff witnessed defendant Sean Combs create a Black Santa video. So if you don't remember, he was doing the Black Santa thing around that time too on Instagram. If you guys don't remember, which showed him demanding the captain, various head of department and crew take a shot of tequila with him. That's not something you're supposed to do as well. As this was a pattern established by the captain of the yacht and defendant Sean Combs, plaintiff felt comfortable knowing that Mr. Jones was present and didn't think anything more of it. She felt that she would take one shot and he would let her return to the pantry. According to plaintiff, at this point the mood changed and things became sinister. Defendant Christian Combs insisted that the plaintiff stay chatting and that she sit beside him. See, like I said, she wanted to sit. He wanted her to just stay by him, basically to get some inspiration while he's trying to record some music or whatever. He's got the me and you going on in the background. He's trying to set the mood, trying to give him some time real quick. Plaintiff resisted and remained polite, asking to leave. Defendant Christian Combs became aggressive and insisted that plaintiff take a further shot and sit beside him. So he's trying to force her to take more shots and get drunk. This is a no-no right here, Christian. This is a big no-no. At this point, Christian Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. Plaintiff insisted that she had to return to the pantry, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Angered defendant Christian Combs forced plaintiff to take another shot. Plaintiff was quite scared and realized she was in a very dangerous situation. Plaintiff was also feeling the effect of tequila shots and quickly suspected that tequila was definitely spiked. At this point, the situation escalated and plaintiff started to be physically assaulted by Sean Combs. Wait, what? At this point, the situation escalated and the plaintiff started to be physically assaulted by Sean Combs. He touched plaintiff's legs, breasts, anus, and vagina. He also tried to kiss her and proceeded to kiss her neck, face, and hands. The timeline at this point is very blurry and vague to plaintiff, as she does not recall exactly what happened to her due to the effects of the spiked tequila shots. Luckily for plaintiff, due to defendant Sean Combs' insistence on Mr. Jones recording everything, Mr. Jones has an audio recording on defendant Christian Combs drugging and sexually assaulting plaintiff. Below is the transcript of Christian Combs forcing plaintiff to consume the suspected laced shots of De Leon tequila. So you hear this, right? You see what it says right there, defendant S. Combs. So it's saying that defendant Sean Combs was also down there with Christian Combs. So hopefully that is maybe that's a typo, and he's supposed to say Christian Combs right there, because it clearly says Sean Combs came down there trying to be very forceful, trying to touch her and feel her up, and also feeling her vagina and anus. It says Sean Combs was doing that while Christian Combs was trying to just feed her liquor. So here's what it says here in the audio. Defendant Christian Combs, yo, it's shot o'clock. Plaintiff, no, I'm not doing shots, Christian. Defendant Christian Combs, everybody, we got to take a shot. Remember, it's just 3 of them in the studio, and about to be 4. Now the next audio says, I'll just put the ledge. Plaintiff. Christian Combs says, no, take the whole thing. Plaintiff says, no, you will take it as well. Christian Combs says, take the whole shot. Plaintiff, I'm only doing it as long as you take it as well. Christian Combs, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not taking nothing. Please take the shot. So see, he's already being a little bit way too forceful as well. She's not being negotiative as far as taking the shot as well. So he's definitely had that shot laced, and he's not trying to take the laced shot. If you notice that, he won't take the lace shot, but he's trying to give the girl the lace shot, which is, once again, this is date raping. You are drugging me, the plaintiff says. Christian Combs says, take the shot. Hey, yo, play another beat one time, because now below is the transcript defending Christian Combs' sexual assault plaintiff. So this is not an offer. Christian Combs says, you said what? Plaintiff said, I can't. I'm swapping out. I can't do it. I'm sorry, darling. Christian Combs says, nah, we need you. Plaintiff, I'm going to stop. I have to go. Honestly, I'm likely already losing sleep. I have to go now. Christian Combs says, you're the best one on this ship, though. Plaintiff, what do you mean? Christian Combs, who's going to replace you? Plaintiff, who's going to replace me? Christian Combs says, fuck that. That's going to be trash, though. You feel me? Plaintiff says, excuse me? You don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. Plaintiff, if I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that. Christian Combs, listen, you and everybody in the crew, it's great. Plaintiff, I can't. I have to go down. I have to go down. Christian Combs, no. You tell me. No. Yo, tell me, listen. Plaintiff, what? Christian Combs, let's go down here. Christian Combs, like, say you're just vibing with me the whole time. Plaintiff, I can't. I promise you. I wish I could, but I can't. Unless I say that you guys requested me. Christian Combs said, yes. Who can I talk to right now? Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now. Plaintiff says, well, you can take your hand off my ass for the first thing. According to the plaintiff, she said she would have to be requested because she knew anyone of the authority who would approve the request was asleep. This is way early in the morning. That's crazy how early in the morning this was. Oops. Okay, here we go. Defendant Christian Combs would not have been able to contact them, and plaintiff could then leave. After being assaulted in the recording studio, plaintiff attempted to resume her duties that night. Wow. Unbelievable. She made her way to the pantry where she met another steward who was assigned to take over the shift. Her colleague recognized that the plaintiff was visibly intoxicated and shocked and trying to finish the shift. Shortly after returning to the pantry, defendant Christian Combs called for plaintiff. He went looking for her and demanded that she find him a place to sleep on the yacht. At such a late hour of the night, there were no spare cabins for Christian Combs to stay in. Despite this, he refused to go back to shore. The most acceptable place for him to sleep that night was in the cinema. Plaintiff directed him to the cinema, which was commonly used as an extra sleeping area. The cinema has one door to exit and enter. Plaintiff entered the room and Christian Combs blocked her from exiting. Plaintiff retreated to a corner of the room and Christian Combs became physical and extremely aggressive. He cornered plaintiff and started to grope her. Plaintiff pushed him back constantly. Oh, man, this is hard to read. Christian Combs then took off all his clothes. Oh, my goodness. He was erect and grabbed her arms and was trying to force plaintiff to perform oral copulation on him. My goodness, this kid was just committing rape. He was committing rape. This looks bad on you, Christian. This looks so bad on you. And this is why I understood why Jaguar was crying reading this, because as a mom, as a parent just reading this shit, you're like, yo, you didn't raise your kid to be like this, yo. Kim Porter did not raise her kid to be raping girls out here. She didn't. She did not raise Christian to be raping girls out here. This is all and I kind of agree with what was said earlier. Even though it shouldn't be said in the lawsuit, I do agree with the fact that this is all the monster that his father is that allows things like this. The plaintiff began fighting defendant Christian Combs, and not long after, her partner on board entered the cinema. The startled Christian Combs and the plaintiff was finally able to leave. The plaintiff partner became concerned and went looking for the plaintiff after she had not returned to her room after her shift had ended. The morning after, plaintiff complained to the yacht captain, Captain Peter Malkov. Captain Malkov berated the plaintiff. He lacked compassion or concern, failed to investigate, and insisted that the plaintiff was probably voluntarily partying with the guests, and she was not. Even though she kind of was just trying to just be a good hostess, I guess you could say, by just, taking the shot or whatever and just trying to get away, it wasn't her fault that happened. Captain Malkov added insult to injury by assigning plaintiff to work in front of the house, which required personally serving Christian Combs while they were on the yacht. Plaintiff was not provided an option to be isolated or not have to serve defendant Christian Combs. Plaintiff was 25 years old at the time of the attack. Based on information, belief, defendant Sean Combs' employees, including his drug mule Brendan Paul, who got arrested recently, his chief staff Christina Courtroom, and his second in line Frankie Stella, learned of what occurred and informed Sean Combs. Shortly after, Captain Malkov received a generous tip from defendant Sean Combs in order to keep Captain Malkov quiet and keep him from protecting plaintiff or taking action on behalf. Wow. So even the captain even took bribe money for this shit. Fucking crooks, man. Only a few members of the ship's staff were required to write statements. Plaintiff and her partner were the only two staff members not interviewed and not asked to write a statement. Paid it all off. So below images of the plaintiff's bruises because defendant Christian Combs violently grabbing her and attempting to force the oral sex. Oh, she took pictures that night. Smart girl. Smart girl. She took pictures that night of it. According to plaintiff, the past year has been the most deeply traumatizing time of her life after defendant Christian Combs' assault and the subsequent cover-up and orchestrated by Sean Combs and his staff. Plaintiff was isolated and retaliated against on the yacht. This isolation and retaliation finally resulted in plaintiff's termination by Captain Peter McCove on or around May 10, 2023, that following year. That's just sad. In addition to losing her employment, plaintiff also lost her longtime partner with whom she had planned a future with. Plaintiff's partner was never the same after seeing plaintiff's bruises on her body because of defendant Christian Combs' sexual assault and having to deal with the mental and emotional ramifications, so they separated. Plaintiff's mental health deteriorated to the point that she was medicated and required intensive therapy. Additionally, she fell into a deep depression and was unable to fully carry out her maid of honor duties at the wedding of her only sister in June 2023, which she had been looking forward to during over the 18 months. And of course the rest is the trauma, but the damage has been done. The damage has been done. And this is just, another add to what happened to, like I said, with Little Rod's case. But again, it isn't the first time we've heard about Diddy drugging someone. So it caught my attention when Big Gene had went on an interview. Let me just play that interview real quick. See how I'm gonna say what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you might be right. It does make sense. He probably knew what was coming, man. But you seen what Albie Short said? Him insinuating that Diddy had something to do with him getting in the coma?
Man, I don't know if Diddy capable of doing that. If he capable of blowing people's cars up. If he capable of giving, what's that guy named Machine Gun Kelly, drugs to have him butt naked in the window dancing. That's his own artist said that. I ain't making this shit up, bro. You ain't hear his artist say that?
And he's very right.
Yesterday, I had smoked something that Puff had gave me, and it was as if I had partied like 3 nights straight. It was the craziest. I was like, I'm about to go to the airport. I need something that'll knock me out. I mean, it totally did the opposite. I was doing crazy dance moves to the weirdest music for 20 minutes straight, like while he was on the phone, and I was just outside the window looking in while he was looking at me like, man, I just wanted someone to go to the airport, just to last me so I can knock out on this flight. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have my guy. So he goes down, comes back up with his stuff, and the guy shows Puff, and I was like, no, I'm trying to give him like he said the Snoop Doggy Dogg is what he said he's trying to give me. So I was like, oh yeah, for sure. I want, yeah. What is that? What's up with that? Where's that at?
Sounds good. Whatever the hell that is.
I'm like, what is that? So long story short, he finally finds it, and he's like, oh, here you go. He's like, now my guy said take 4 hits and like stop.
All right.
And we didn't.
You just kept going.
So, yeah, and so he was like, come back up in 5 minutes. And I mean, when I tell you I came back up in 5 minutes and like had a result for him, like, you know what I mean? Like if it was.
And then he's on the phone running his empire.
Yeah.
And you're dancing naked outside of his window.
Like, tweaking balls. Yeah.
I didn't realize I was on mute still. So when I heard that, I said to myself, again, this isn't the first time we've heard about this guy drugging people. When is it going to stop? But let's continue. Let us continue with our dear friend Big Gene, real quick.
Yeah, you might be right. It does make sense. He probably knew what was coming, man. But you seen what Albie Short said? Him insinuating that Diddy had something to do with him getting in the coma?
Man, I don't know if Diddy capable of doing that. If he capable of blowing people's cars up. If he capable of giving, what's that guy named Machine Gun Kelly, drugs to have him butt naked in the window dancing. That's his own artist said that. I ain't making this shit up, bro. You ain't hear his artist say that? Machine Gun Kelly said, yo, the nigga gave me something I smoked. It was called the Snoop Doggy Dog. They told me only take 4 hits. I took more than 4 hits. I was butt naked and dancing in front of his window. I was like, is he capable of doing that? Yo, anything is possible, man. But I would wonder, how did he get that close to Al to give him anything? Or who did he give something to get at Al to make that happen to him? You know what I mean? Because, him and Al never been the best of friends. He had motherfuckers think that he had adopted Quincy, and he never did. Al was never out of his son's life. I knew Al way back in Mount Vernon. He used to wear leather pants and 100 degrees. I was fucking with Al. I knew it was way back then, though, man. Al a good dude. A good dude. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So if Al got something to say about that's happening to him and Puff has something to do with it, trust and believe he gonna have evidence to substantiate that Puff did that shit. Either he gave him something or sent something his way.
But what was the beef between Albie Short and Diddy? Like, why wasn't they on good terms?
The nigga was dating Kim. You understand? That's his kid's mother. And they was cool. They was friends. Misa and Kim was cool. They was all in that Uptown family, Uptown Records family. How you gonna date the mother of you my man, you cool, we all be around each other, and you dating the mother of my son? Alan never go try to date Misa. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, that ain't cool, man. But you can tell Albie Short, he don't like Diddy, man. You can tell he got a disdain for Diddy.
No, he don't. He don't. Because Andre Harrell did some snake shit and nobody never know why that he was doing this. He was giving all the props to Diddy from artists like Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. He was making like that he was the protege that brought them to the excellence that they were. The way they dressed, all that shit, that was Devontae. Their music was Devontae. But Diddy got all the credit for it. Why was Andre Harrell doing that?
Talking about D Nice. Which begs the question: what was the real relationship behind the scenes between Andre Harrell and Diddy? But something that resurfaced recently was Eminem's implying that Diddy did have Tupac killed.
Alright, so this just happened. Look, so Eminem shocked the hip hop community on Friday, September 14th, when he dropped the Kill Shot diss track aimed at Machine Gun Kelly. One line in particular has the internet working overtime. This idiot's boss pops pills and tells him that he's got skills, but Kells, the day you put out a hit is the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Pac killed, he spits, essentially implicating Diddy in Tupac's murder. One Twitter user wrote, "This is the Eminem I love the most." As most hip-hop aficionados know, Tupac's 1996 murder remains unsolved to this day. In fact, Thursday, September 13th, marked 22 years since the hip-hop luminary was fatally shot in Las Vegas. While M's accusations are bold, he insists he's joking at the end of the song. "And I'm just playing, Diddy, you know I love you," he says, similar to the cheeky endings of past glories such as Kill You and White America.
I'm just playing, ladies. You know I love you.
So, this idiot's boss pops pills and tells him he got skills. But Kells, the day you put out a hit is the day Diddy admits he put the hit out that got Pac killed. Interesting. So again, he talks about, his boss popping pills. Talks about Diddy doing the drugs. Then he seemingly jokes about Diddy admitting that he put out the hit on Pac. Now, what's interesting about that is the fact that the only other person that would, be able to even give Eminem that type of information would be Dr. Dre.
Diddy on the phone with MGK after he heard Eminem's Kill Shot. Eminem at the end of Kill Shot. "Oh, you know I'm just playing, Diddy. You know I love you." When Eminem dropped that Diddy and Tupac line, Kill Shot. When I heard the Diddy line on Eminem's Kill Shot. Diddy after listening to that Tupac line on Eminem's Kill Shot. Diddy when he heard that Tupac line from Eminem. Diddy looking at Eminem after that Tupac line. Eminem, the day you get a hit is the day Diddy admits he killed Tupac. Diddy, Kill Shot. Eminem just blasted P. Diddy for putting a hit on Tupac. So what do you guys think? Was Eminem simply joking around, or was there any truth to it?
Well, the response to it definitely gave a little bit of truth to it, I would think. As this came in from US Weekly not too long ago. As you can see, Diddy's response to the rapper's 2018 diss track and what it says. Now, of course, I don't want to keep playing the music just so we didn't have to cut that out later, but as you can see what it talks about. So, a lot of people are saying that Diddy is going to definitely come up in this Keefe D trial. But what's interesting enough is that Jay-Z might be coming up in the trial as well. So as you can see here, we're going to just play it back a little bit. Following the release of the track, Diddy responded in a now deleted episode of Joe Budden's YouTube series. Isn't that something? So there's a deleted episode of Joe Budden's podcast that Diddy actually responded on, but was removed. As always, Diddy always removes something when he says something. During his guest appearance, he shared a very cryptic reaction, telling listeners that the situation with Eminem was handled privately. The only way it would be handled privately, of course, with Dr. Dre. Adding, he said, "There's nothing to say about it. It's in my hands. He wild." Cryptic isn't as much as creepy right there, if you ask me. But what was also interesting about that was I had to start thinking to myself, it's not a coincidence that the two people that have said to be, on the run right now have one particular thing in common. That is that they both had a beef with Tupac. Jay-Z and Diddy both had beefs with Tupac at the same exact time. Not a lot of people knew that. So let's listen to Jay real quick. Oh, forgot I had to unmute there.
Girlfriend is from the original Tupac song.
All I need in this life is sin. It's me and my girlfriend.
Those guys went through a lot of drama and success. You parallel your journey with theirs?
You know, like Big and Pop, they all open doors. They laid the blueprint for me, and they're not here anymore. So I always want to make sure that, through me, you know what I'm saying, through all of us, so that they live on.
When I say R.I., y'all say P. R.I.
Every show that I did, ever since they passed, was a moment in the show. Have everybody in the show put up lighters.
Put the peace sign up for these. If you got your lighter, light your lighter for Tupac Shakur one time, yo.
And this is a guy who couldn't say me enough, you know what I'm saying, on his record.
Bad boy killer, Jay-Z got to.
You know what I'm saying?
He dissed you a few times.
Yeah. But, the guy's not here. And you got to figure, we never met.
So you and Tupac never met. That was just...
So it's nothing personal. Him and Big went through their thing, and I was Big Man. That was the extent of our beef. I spoke to his mom. Her and Miss Wallace gave me an award one time on MTV.
That's right, yeah.
And she's like, when I hugged you on stage, I felt anything that, you and my son had or whatever was over. And I was like, it was over for me. It was over for me before that. Whatever we had died with him.
Whatever he had died with him. Well, Big Gene would tell it a little bit differently.
The story is that Jay was going to try to perform in Vegas, but Pac was in Vegas, and him and his dudes now. And they wasn't going to let Jay-Z come out the hotel. They found out where Jay was at. And Jay wasn't going to come out the hotel. He was going to miss that performance or whatever like that. But then Dame Dash called some people, and they got back to Chaz, and they made some phone calls. And Suge Knight had said, yo, that ain't me, bro. That's Pac with his wild self, man. I'm going to call him off, Jay. So he called the dogs off. Suge called Pac, and they let Jay go do his concert and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? There was something that Big D and Chaz, they took, and I think probably Eric B., they talked to Suge about it. And Suge talked to Pac, and he allowed Jay to do his concert.
So Tupac, he found out Jay-Z was performing in Vegas, and he tried to stop that from happening. But after Suge Knight spoke with Tupac, he ended up performing.
Yeah.
So that story really is true. Tupac, he really had an issue with Jay-Z. He really didn't like him then.
Not at all.
Do you think it's because he was cool with Biggie, his affiliation with Biggie?
I don't know why he wasn't doing it, bro, but I know he wasn't letting him do that concert, and Jay was scared of the motherfucker. Jay wasn't coming out that hotel until he got clearance.
You and the Mad Rapper, the guy that was doing all them skits for the Bad Boy albums, what's the issue between both of you?
So isn't that interesting there, right? So Gene says that Pac had him scared to come out the hotel in Vegas. Wouldn't it be interesting that Pac actually died in Vegas as well? In the same place that he had Jay-Z scared in? Could it be, allegedly, that the real $1 million came from Jay? Could that be Jay having the actual problem with him, on top of Diddy having the East Coast, West Coast beef? Could this have been that's the win-win for these two. Jay removes Pac. Diddy also removes Pac. Removes Big because he's leaving. Bad Boy. But Jay's win-win of Biggie passing is New York City rap is now his. Interesting. But the world may never know. But that is a very good observation there. Could it have been Jay is the one that originally had the hit planned, and they and Diddy coerced? Remember, Jaguar Wright has went on record in saying that when the Keefe D trial happens, Diddy will not be the only one called to trial. Jay will definitely be called to trial for this Keefe D trial as well. And I'm starting to wonder if what Gene just said is possibly why.
Yeah.
With that being said, Iceberg Slim 2 coming tomorrow.
Yeah. It's JD Sounds. Yeah. My type of women like to cuddle, but don't sleep on the money. My type of women like to talk, but don't talk to no dummy. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A type of dudes don't be calling trying to blow up a phone. A type of dudes getting money, but don't leave her alone. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. I need a woman that can cook and clean. She need a good man that fucking mean. I kick it paying all bills, yeah, I foot the fee. Yeah, I know she bad and bougie, but she good to me. We talking king shit, I love to show her royalty. I need a queen, quick to always show her loyalty. And when even a nigga off, she be on with me. She DEF the fuck boy, she supported G. That's how it always be. Yeah, it's a baddie, it's a baddie. Make it clap, patty cake with that fatty. Yeah, she love it. Making money. Keep it coming, keep it cunning. Hate but complaining, haters do nothing. My type of women like to cuddle, but don't sleep on the money. My type of women like to talk, but don't talk to no dummy. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A good play, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. A type of dudes don't be calling trying to blow up a phone. A type of dudes getting money, but don't leave her alone. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. She just need food, peace and pay, that's a damn good day. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what I prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer. Don't be mad at it, that's just what we prefer.